Loshak at. The bottles getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Loshak in the Bag Show, Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. We got everyone in the comment section going today. Last show of June for 2023. June has been a little bit rough for me, MLB-wise, which is what I was expecting. I talk about it every single year. And then for some reason, things pick up again after the All-Star break. But it's always fun to handicap all these games. We got WNBA today, right, with Parlay Teece live and direct in the show, right? Jimmy the Bag, he's going to be here.
We do, yeah. Parlay Teece.
That's going to be great. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. So it's going to be a good show. I prepared extensively for today's card, and unfortunately not seeing anything that I'm really loving or with obvious value. But I'm sure there'll be some things that will show up as through the course of the show. I'll make some bets. I'll get some picks. So will Jim. Comment section. We'll have a lot of fun. Everything will be good. It's going to be a good game, Jimmy the Bag. I'm wearing amber glasses to block out blue light. Maybe blue light is unlucky for me. I don't know, Jimmy the Bag. I'm doing whatever I can. How you doing, Jim?
Well, the chat has been so spectacular over the last little while, and I felt like I've been kind of letting, our group down a little. You've had a great year still. You're still up 9.23 units on the MLB season, but Ron Crawford has cashed 6 straight.
Wow. 6
straight spreadsheet plays of the day, 6.08 units on those 6 straight. He's now 26-18, hitting at 59.1%, plus 8.12 units, ROI plus 18.45%, average line minus 102. TJ's gift play of the day is now 21-8, hitting at 72.4%, plus 13.03 units, plus 41.2% ROI, average line minus 104. The ribeye RBI play of the day from Mike M, 9-5, plus 10.5 units. And they've been keeping the show afloat, on the days I'm not with you, when you've been keeping the show afloat. And finally, I'm starting to heat up. I've cashed 18 of my last 21 bets. I'm 18-3 run. Finally, 18-3 run. That's a 13-3 run in MLB and a 5-0 run in CFL. And it's actually a little more than that, but of the last 21 bets, it includes 5-0 in CFL, and feels good.
Very quickly, Jimmy the Bag, what do you think about the over in the upcoming Toronto game, July 3rd? No. Okay. I was thinking about
the Argos Lions. You're talking about Argos Lions.
Yes.
Oh shit. I was surprised where they opened that line.
A little low, right? Didn't you think?
Yeah, and also I was surprised that the Lions were just 1.5-point favorites. I was planning on fading the Lions, and I need a little bit more time now on the game. These 3 games last week, everything just jumped out at me. This week I find it a little more difficult. I did not move on the Elks last night. I almost did. And I was like, you know what? I'd like to give it a little bit more time, and it hasn't really moved since that moment. So I feel like I want a little bit more time, but I will let you know exactly what we're doing in CFL. And I really like this MLB card. I've moved on 5 bets here, and there's a couple more that I'm very interested in, but I wanted to talk out a couple fishy spots as well. But I feel like I'm seeing things clearly, and my quantity of action has gone down. My volume's gone down a little bit as I'm becoming more successful, which always happens when I start winning. And I'm just thankful that I can be here on this show, be down 20 units on the baseball season, and have low baggers stick by me and stand by me and give me hope and confidence and all those things. And then when I do turn it around, it feels really, really goddamn good. Pete.
Hey, would you like me to write a Weird Al parody of "Stand By Me" about that topic you just mentioned, Jimmy the Bag? If you want it, consider it done.
I do, and I have a list of songs here under Loshak songs right here on my worksheet. So we keep adding to it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
We can make the first line be "When my picks are ass." That's not a bad first line, right? Just thought that just now, Jimmy the Bag. We'll do it. We'll get it done. We'll get it done for you, pal.
I got there. But just let me just get that out of the way. Thank you guys for sticking by me. Look, my record still overall is not that good. It's bad. It's minus 7.7 units on the year, ROI minus 2.48%, 157 to 153. But look, I'm coming for black. I'm coming for profits. I'm fucking coming for winners, man. And excited. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Crypto-ish, Rob Garvey, Viper MB on Toronto -1, Atlanta, Minnesota, first 5, under 5. So we got Viper in. I'm very interested in the Jays -1. I couldn't understand the market. I'm very interested in the Phillies -1. I don't really understand the market there, so I didn't move on either of those. Justin McElvey in the house, fresh off celebrating his 45th birthday, Pete. And he's stacks play days on the Colorado Rockies. There's Dan Kelly ready to go. Nuke Workers says LSU gravy train. Yeah, great job, Nuke. Keep cashing with that. It was fun to watch. Billy Friedrich in the house. He's on first 5 minus half at plus 112. Brewers first 5 money line plus 137. Astros first 5 money line. So I'm going to copy and paste that as well. I like that look with Suarez, but something just didn't feel right with that price. And I wanted to talk it out with you guys. Spreadsheet play of the day is in. 6 straight winners from Ron Crawford, and he's on the Jays -1 with Gaussman, and maybe that will be enough to get me to move on them as well. Serious business ready to get to work. Marco Lou's action is in. Nationals Mariners under 8. Brewers Mets. Oh, sorry. Nationals Mets under. Brewers Mets under, and Padres Pirates under. I'm going to copy and paste that. There's our guy Nate Dogg 420 in the house. Jay's final take, ready to get to work. He's got a play of the day that you should keep your eye out for. The Let Your Nuts Hang play of the day is from Jay's final take. We got Jay Smooth, Marco Carrasco, Wine Time Sports. Jay's final takes has only got 2 plays locked in right now. Vitalis on the Royals Guardians under 9. I moved on that, my man, but I took first 3 under 2.5 at plus 115 and the first 5 under 5 at plus 100. There is Sharpie up over 40 units on the season, and he's part of the reason why I moved on that Cleveland spot. Sharpie thinking that Gavin is going to shove. He's on Gavin's strikeout prop, and that because you guys know, look, I love Singer. And I like him at home, and I think he's much better than his numbers indicate. So I'm rolling there. And the Let Your Nuts Hang action is in. It is Boston -1. Boston -1. I'm all over that game as well. TJ's against us on Singer. He's on the first 5 over. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about, TJ, but I don't like seeing you on that over, but it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. Christopher Carter says Mets giving Peterson the 5th and last chance. I'm on the first 5 over in that one. TJ says that is the gift game, so I can't wait to hear that. Great to see all you guys. So Christopher Carter, Mike M, who's just rolling, man. TJ says love the card. He's loving this card as well. Nuke Worker saying it's a long season. Thank you. 1 of 1 of Benny, Parlangel, Professor Chris in the house. We got Jay Stone, Andrew G, Mally Mal, OG Lowbagger in Mally Mal, Mr. Heat, North Ender, a great group. Red Girl, Creekman, Brian Watson, Darren Turner, Joseph Gomez, Von Polo, Wine Time. Thank you guys for running with us. Alondo ready to get to work as well. Pete, I'm locked in, man. Let's get to work.
I was actually going to say, I also think I have absolutely no idea how to please a woman in bed play of the days are now 0-2. So that might be a nice fade, Jimmy Bag. Maybe I'll give another one in today's show. What do you think?
I'll be all ears.
Last one was terrible. Huge loser. All right. You ready to go? Are we doing MLB or WNBA first?
We're doing MLB first, and then Teece is going to join us here. So let's get right to work here. Let me pull up the weather, and let's go. We start at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 41-38, 20-18 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles 48-29, 25-14 at home. We're in Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. This is a fun one. I'm very high on this Baltimore squad. I have them to win the AL East. I could have got a much better number. I got 6.5 to 1, and I still believe that they can do it. 71 Fahrenheit, 8.2 miles per hour left to right. It dies down to 4.9 and kind of goes out. When we go here to the spot on Ballpark Pal, it's very offensive weather here. Plus 32% home run rate, plus 13% run rate. Coors Field is ludicrous today. But this is Coors Field is a plus 37% runs situation. Oriole Park at plus 13. That's the only other park here in double digits. Andrew Abbott, the lefty, he had not allowed a run until his last start at home versus Rockies. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. There were 3 solo shots, 10 Ks, 0 walks. He's looked awesome in his young career. 23 and 2/3 long innings, 22 Ks, 9 walks, and then those 3 home runs that he allowed. But 1.14 ERA, 0.97 WHIP. He started 2 games on the road, Pete, in tough situations, Houston and St. Louis, and he is being excellent. Has not allowed a run. Only 6 strikeouts and 5 walks in those 11 and 2/3. Going up against Tyler Wells, 3.22 ERA, 0.89 WHIP. He's been very good this year. Has allowed 18 homers, though, in those 86 and 2/3. Coming off a 7-2 loss at Tampa, he didn't look good. 4 runs, just 2 of which were earned. 6 Ks, 3 walks, and 5 innings. At home, he's been very good. 2.52 ERA, 52 strikeouts, 7 walks. Nice, really nice K to walk ratio, 7 homers. The Reds are smashing righties since June 1st, 261, 807, and the Orioles are not hitting lefties with power. 259 and a 707 OPS. Orioles bullpen has not looked very good either. Orioles bullpen since June 1st, 4.60 ERA. The Reds bullpen's been quite a bit better since June 1st. So let's take a look at the line history here and then watch Pete rock. Here we go. First off, they're not giving me anything. Oh, it's because it's first 5. Okay, I was saying they're not giving me anything at Pinnacle, but I was looking at first 5. So let's take a look at the full game here. There's been a real legit move towards the Orioles. 18 cents, opening up at minus 124, now minus 142. That has me interested. Let's go over to the total here in this one. We have it opening up at 9 at some books. It opened up at 8.5 at Pinnacle last night at 7:30, but 1 minute later it was at 9, and then 2 minutes later back to 8.5, and 9, 8.5, just bouncing back and forth from 8.5 to 9. Right now, we have a 5-cent move on the over. So we have a big move to the Orioles, a 5-cent move on the over, and let's see what we are dealing with here. On that total, 5-cent move to the over, and we have 62% of the tickets and 89% cash on the under, which is strange. And then from a money line standpoint, 47% of the tickets, 75% of cash on the Orioles, and that makes me very interested. 1 of 1 Benny says Cincinnati, Baltimore screams Nerfy. Andrew G feeling the under today. Mally Mal looking at Reds first 5 in this spot. And TJ says Wells overpriced. FIP the last 2 appearances, very concerning. Got lucky in both. Rocco Rogers, though, saying Orioles again. And Nate Dogg looking at Abbott over strikeouts and Cincinnati on the plus side of the run line. Pistol Pete, our first game on the board. Reds, Orioles, take it away.
Yeah, I don't know. This was one I was thinking I was going to give. I didn't quite understand the line, why Cincinnati should be a dog. And now, like you said, the big move baffles me. Abbott, great in the minors, great in the majors. Yeah, going into Baltimore for a young guy like that is not the best situation you might hope for. But as a dog, I thought it was worth a play. Cincinnati, of course, we know what they've been doing. Wells, solid, but usually gives up a couple. And I was going to give Cincinnati maybe full game -1 and almost certainly first 5, as Mally Mal said. The line move concerns me a little bit, but I think I might do it anyway, Jimmy the Bag. I don't know.
Well, that'll be enough to keep me off of the Orioles, hearing your feelings. TJ adding the over as well. Rocco Rogers, though, on the Orioles -1. Mally Mal's move on the Reds first 5. Couple of home run props for that Giants-Blue Jays game from Tone Miggins, which we will be discussing here. I love it, Beefy Bets. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Very exciting. So I guess I end up staying off. Tone Miggins has Ellie Cruz, 2+ bases at +125 for a unit. And the levels play today is in here. Giants +1.5, Cleveland money line, Dodgers money line +286. I guess when it's said and done, there's a lot of spots that I want to attack here on the board, and I'm okay letting this one go, Pete.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Professor Chris says Reds are a dog because Orioles are better than them. Season long, yeah, but recently, especially against righties, the Reds are putting up big numbers in all their peripherals. I would, if you season wide, yes, their numbers are significantly better, the Orioles. But after the Reds brought up the rookie and made a change, especially against righties, I'm not sure I would necessarily agree with that. But the market certainly disagrees with me, and I would disagree with myself in June as well. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put up. I think I'll go for it anyway. I'll take Cincinnati first 5. If it loses, I'll be like, well, at least I'm here in losing town with Mally Mal, friend of mine. Plus 122 current line at Pinnacle. Cincinnati Reds first 5 plus 122. You can make that official, Jim.
You got it, Pete. Reds first 5 at plus 122 for Pistol Pete. Loshak. There's Nasty Nate in the house. We are going to move on to game 2 on today's card. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. The San Diego Padres 37-41, 17-19 on the road. At the Pittsburgh Pirates 35-42, 18-19 at home. There's the Dab father in the house. Got to hang out with him at Pubapalooza, our guy, the Dab father. Here we go. Padres Pirates, PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And, I don't know what to do with Darvish, but I still believe that Rich Hill can give us value on unders. I think that he's a pitcher that can be counted upon.
Oh, Billy Friedrich says Reds first 5 is plus 127. That bookmaker right now. Thank you, Billy Friedrich. Give me that. Thank you, Billy Friedrich. Thank you.
You got it. Reds first 5 plus 127. I don't know what's going on with you, Darvish. I saw this move pretty briskly to the over last night. Opened up at 8.5 at a pick'em and got to 9 within 3 hours. Actually, within 2 hours, hit 9, which is where it is right now. 9 slightly juiced to the under. So we have a move to the over. Let's get over to the money lines here with Darvish and Dick Mountain. We have the Pirates opening up at plus 156. They're now at plus 167. So we have 11 cents of movement to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's pull up the cash flow and see what they think about, or what the money thinks about the situation. First off, 33% of the tickets and 84% of the cash are on the Pittsburgh Pirates. That no concern. The books are showing no concern about all that money on the Pirates. From a total perspective, 35% of the tickets and 43% of cash are on the under. Look, I'm interested in that under, in all honesty. And we have the best bet of the day from BJ. I will copy and paste that here. Thank you for sharing that with us, BJ. Vital says the first 5 killer versus Dick Mountain. Yu Darvish not look good this year. A 4.84 ERA, 1.23 whip, 85 Ks in 80 innings, which is fine. 25 walks, K to walk ratio, fine. But he's getting touched. His last start at San Francisco in a pitcher's ballpark, still allowed 4 runs and still took the L in that one. On the road, as was mentioned here in the chat, he's been really bad. 38 innings, 6.16 ERA. 35 Ks, 14 walks, 4 home runs. Opponents hitting 257 off of him. Look, I've got an affinity for Chill. He's my age and still, firing away like the Necro Brothers, and it gets in the way a little bit. Last start of his, I cashed the first 5 under, lost the full game under. Padres are smashing lefties right now. What's the biggest difference in the game? Well, if Yu Darvish is pitching bad on the road, I don't know if you can say that the Padres have a huge pitching advantage, but that would be a fair statement if you were to say that. The Padres are hitting 274, 880 versus lefties, while the Pirates are only hitting 209, 598 versus righties. That's all since June 1st. And then the Pirates bullpen is allowing 3.59 more runs per 9 innings than the Padres. And, it's since June 1st, and that can't be overlooked, really. I mean, those are two. I mean, at that point, when you look at the splits, you've got a huge advantage here. Let's just touch on the weather quickly at PNC Park. It is offensive. Plus 2% home runs, plus 22% doubles and triples, plus 7% runs here. And just to touch on the actual weather here in Pittsburgh, 70 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour to left center. Take it away, Pete. I have no action on this one. TJ looking at the Padres run line. Rocco looking at Padres double result. And TJ says Darvish show today. Last 4 right-handed pitchers as Pittsburgh have combined for 24 in the 3rd innings and a grand total of 1 earned run. Padres smashing lefties. He is on Pittsburgh. Oh, he's on San Diego run line. Take it away for us here, Pete. Should we jump in? Are the waters nice? Padres.
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, huge shout out to Rocco Rogers with some great comments about Cincinnati's numbers against righties recently. And yeah, that is true, Rocco Rogers. My bet is also about the Cincinnati starter, who I am a believer in, and also, of course, the line as a dog. Having said all that, I might be completely wrong about that. And shout out to Professor Chris and Rocco Rogers for awesome comments on the Cincinnati Reds game. Yeah, this one. Darvish is a guy who I think is overvalued, but the spots are going to come for him, and this does look like a spot for him, right? Pittsburgh is really losing and can't score. They still don't have Reynolds or Brian Hayes, my numbers indicate that the line is about where it should be, but my gut tells me that it's a spot to play San Diego even as a favorite. Rich Hill has been good. I have been not getting too burned by him not being as much of an auto fade as some people might think he is, but I have been picking my spots to fade him and generally doing okay with it. So yeah, my lean is to San Diego here, as people are talking about early, not necessarily late. Just basically betting on this being, one of the Darvish starts that's actually good. If he's going to have a 1-run start 20% of the time, 25% of the time going forward, this has that one written all over it going against Pittsburgh, who can't really hit anyone. But Darvish is going to have to bring it. Doesn't make me feel comfortable, and I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but I'm agreeing in general with the people who are liking San Diego in the comment section.
Yeah, it's a little too pricey for me for a -1 line. I would have to take the -1.5 if I was going to move on it. There's on the money line side of things, 33% of the tickets, but big bets coming in on Pittsburgh. I guess I can just kind of let go of that because of this, market move towards the Padres. So the books aren't showing concern. So should I, is the question. We have 12 cents of movement at this point towards the Padres. Yeah, I could join here. Let's see what the price would be for this first 5 -0.5. And so do you think the big bets that are coming in on Pittsburgh is a belief that Darvish will continue to struggle on the road, regardless of how weak the Pirates lineup is?
Yeah, it's just that the line is just too big. I don't even have to. I would be shocked if there weren't those bets at this point in the MLB season coming in. Of course, there's going to be big bets on Pittsburgh as a huge home dog with Hill starting.
Guillermo Zertucci giving a shout out to Mike M. He had the Angels and the under parlayed last night, a +285. It's a thing of absolute beauty. I agree with TJ. I would not shorten the game to first 5. We've seen this Pirates bullpen look absolutely atrocious, and this is a chance for the Padres to get hot here. So, okay, I'm interested. I'm interested. Again, we have the bigger bets on the Pirates, but if the books don't show any concern about that, I mean, why should I? North Ender says, I think Darvish shoves. Okay, I think I join here, Pete. I think I'm going to join on the -1.5. A lot of talk about Phil Niekro, who was a ball doctor here, but you can't talk about doctoring the ball without talking about Don Sutton. And, Sutton's nickname was Black and Decker for what he did doctoring the ball. Those old guys are fucking buttes, man. They're fucking buttes. And Rich Hill does remind me of those two. There's our guy, Flea Matheson. That was great to see you. So, okay. I think I will join the crew on the Pirates -1.5. I will see what the price is on the -1. I'll double check that, but I do think that'll be too expensive. And I don't think there's a need for that because I think there's going to be high volatility in this spot. North Ender wondering what Pittsburgh is first 5. Well, I tell you what, the first thing you could do is +1.5. You're going to get almost even money. You'll get between even money and -106 on. That's full game. My bad. On the first 5 +0.5, you're going to get plus money here. You'll get between +110 and +102 and +117, depending on where you shop. And if you want to take the risk on the Pirates first 5 straight money line. That will be around, I guess, between plus 150 and plus 170. Okay, so you're off of the spot, Pete.
Remo says, I look like an out-of-work cab driver who came to America to make a better life for himself by becoming a disc jockey at a 40-plus discotheque. Very nice. Rem Most getting specific. I love it.
He does. He has been called a taxi driver from Kabul
in multiple ways that I look, multiple outfits,
more than once. We need to stop for a second here before we move on. Nate Dogg, our friend, the mother of his child, he's a 2-year-old daughter, is in the hospital, and it's not looking good. Looks like it may need a liver transplant, and it's real scary times. And so Nate Dogg now must have got some sort of message and has to rush to the hospital. So if we could all just take a second here and just send as much positivity and love and healing energy and whatever it is that you do, whether it's praying or just sending energy, if we could send it all to Nate Dogg 420 and the mother of his child and send just as much positive energy. And Nate Dogg, know that we all have your back and we love you, and we're going to be thinking of you. And if anybody has the ability to reach out to him at all, just let him know that we support him and we are there for him. Please do that. Please do that. So we're thinking of you, Nate Dogg, and we love you, man. And okay. All right. Padres minus 1.5. Looks like we'll be adding to my card. It is time to move on to a big game here in the 6. Are you ready to break down the next one, Pistol?
Yes, absolutely.
Here we go. 7:07 p.m. Eastern. We have the San Francisco Giants 44-34, 21-15 on the road at the Toronto Blue Jays, 43-36, 21-14 at home. We're at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. There is rain today. I don't know if there's going to be rain tonight. Why don't we take a look here at the weather situation in Toronto? And I know it's supposed to rain here shortly. Yes, rain at 2 p.m., rain at 5 p.m., and it does stop. So I don't know. I guess this roof is probably going to be open. So, but again, if we're going to be making decisions based on the roof, it's a little tricky, and I guess we should proceed with some caution here. 7.5 miles per hour left to right in, gets up to 9.1 miles per hour. So if this roof is open, Ballpark Pal has it minus 4% in runs, so nothing to worry about. 0% in homers. So if that's the case, I guess it's not that big of a deal. It's a bullpen day here. Ryan Walker going to start it out for the Giants, and their bullpen has been excellent here over the last while, especially since June 1st. There's our guy, Nut Flush Allen, in the house. He's camping with the fam. Thank you for joining us. Gaussman here, coming off a 6-3 win at the Marlins. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk. At home, he's been very good. 48 and a third, 2.61 ERA, 218 opponents batting average. Giants are hitting righties 259, 772 since June 1st. The Jays aren't really 255, 740, but Vlad Guerrero has started hitting. And
I also, one other thing, Jim, I'm seeing Alex Wood as the primary, who's a lefty who can be vulnerable.
Oh, he can be vulnerable. Well, it's funny with Alex Wood. So we faded Alex Wood heavy. I got hot when I guess Rick J felt like I was, I know he called me a crybaby pussy, but we went up against each other when he was on the Giants on their winning streak. And that was fading Alex Wood. I was faded Alex Wood heavy there, first 5 in full game. And Padres won 11-0 or 10-0. And unfortunately we lost Rick J. Rick J stopped following me and is no longer a part of the show. But if anybody ever talks to him, let him know we'd welcome him back with open arms. Even this crybaby pussy would. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. And that's the first 5 there. The Jays are pretty heavy favorites, and it makes me a little nervous, but at least this is the pitcher to be heavy favorite with. The Jays open up here at minus 162. That's exactly where they are right now, minus 162. From a total perspective, see this here. Sorry, it's taking a second to come up. I got to get both of these up, which will make this speed up a little bit. But here, from a total perspective, this opened up at 8.5, juice to the over. In fact, my fault. This opened up at 9. I didn't realize Pinnacle opened up at 9. So Pinnacle opened up this 9 minus 120 to the under. It moved to 8.5 at 9:32. Of course, I didn't realize because this line didn't come out till 8:03 this morning. So we had a move towards the under. And let's get over to the cash flow here for this one. We have 61% of the tickets, 77% of cash on the Jays. Market's not moving towards them. We have 73% of tickets and 87% of cash on the under, and the market is moving in that direction. Take it away for us here, Pistol Pete. Giants, Blue Jays here in Toronto.
Yeah, all the topics. All the important points you guys have touched on, which is that Alex Wood is, vulnerable, to put it mildly. Although on the road, he has had a couple of decent, appearances this year. And, it's a Toronto spot, but, I don't like laying that kind of a number with this kind of a team. Although, as you said, they're kind of picking it up a bit. It is the spreadsheet play of the day. I know that. Almost certainly this game is a high volatility game. That's what my numbers say. And just giving it a once over, you would think that as well. And so, I'm thinking about maybe Toronto -1, just no-brainerishly tailing the spreadsheet play of the day. Makes a lot of sense on paper. Gausman should be okay. I don't like fading San Francisco as a dog, though, when they're a dog, but yeah.
No, it's well put. I feel the same discomfort. TJ saying San Francisco performed so well as a road dog. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable laying the wood with Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
6 on the road as a dog here. But let's give a shout out to Ron Crawford, Major League Baseball spreadsheet play of the day here. He's given out a pick every single show we've had, whether or not I'm here or not. Every Tuesday through Friday, he's given us a pick. He's now hit 6 in a row. He's on the Blue Jays on the -1 line. He's 26-18, 59.1%, plus 8.12 units, ROI plus 18.45%, average line -102. So if you are moving on the Jays, you can have that confidence. I don't think I can do it though, Pete.
Yeah, maybe a Jays team total over or something like that. They are,
I'm not flush out. Here we go.
Like the under, right?
We have the Giant Whisperer here. Says the Giants are one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball, getting them at a plus price. Wood is very capable of having a bounce back game on the road. He will be working on this game today, but he's given us a hint.
Yeah.
San Francisco Giants.
Yeah. We've seen enough of the Giants this year that, think 2 or 3 times before pulling the trigger on fading them as a big dog on the road,
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Sharpie says Gausman on an extra day's rest, his velocity has been known to tick up to 97. We get his old team in Toronto where his K percentage to walk ratio is 8% better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. I like the spot for Gausman, but the price is just so high.
Yeah, I don't know if I can move here, but I understand it. But I'm going to be off.
Well, what about first 5 or first 7 or something like that?
The Blue Jays bullpen is rested. They didn't play yesterday, and so we have all our best arms ready to go. I don't, but I can understand wanting to shorten it because Giants bullpen is so good.
I'm not trying to shorten it. I'm just trying to get a less stark favorite price, which is just not anything you can really do easily. I'm just trying to get 140 in some way.
Joe Yurkovich here says the one thing I can say for sure is that the Jays offense is overvalued. He says Toronto team total under would be his only look.
Right.
All right. Well, the spreadsheet play of the day is in. It is the Toronto Blue Jays on the -1 line. Ron Crawford got that at -116. Shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford. All right, let's move to my first action on the card. These were my first 2 bets on today's card. Miami Marlins at Boston Red Sox. We're talking Red Sox baseball, so we got to bring the host of Say Hey Plays of the day on to the show with 2 bets that I have on this card. I'm very interested to hear what he thinks of this spot. So let us please welcome to the show a man whose tits are talked about a lot, Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you, my friend?
I'm all right. A little frustrated after last night. I got hit in the nuts last night. The Nationals giving me false hope. Dom Smith might have to be investigated for tampering, throwing that game, throwing that fifth inning for us. Very frustrating there. And then, of course, we cashed both of our unders in the Angels-White Sox game, but the White Sox get walked off. I think I've lost my last 7 or 8 money line bets by 1 run. It's been pretty shocking, but I assume that the ball is going to start bouncing our way soon, and hopefully that'll start today.
Yes, and I find this game extremely interesting. So let's get to work here. Christopher Comentini says, hate to say it, are we fading Sandy? Yes. Yes, we are. I'm tired of sitting back and saying, this is a chance where he's going to get right. I mean, look at when was the last time he had a nice start? It was against the White Sox, and their sticks are useless. Jay's final take has the let your nuts hang play of the day on Boston money line. There's our guy, Carlos Garcia. The bet your wife play of the day is Boston run line. So look, I'm not concerned right now fading last year's Cy Young Award winner, but I'm also on the first 5 over. So I'm on the first 5 over 5. I got that last night at minus 105, and I'm on the Red Sox first 5 at minus 115 here in Fenway Park, Boston. Marlins 20-18 on the road. Red Sox 21-18 at home. So TJ said had the first 5 under in the queue and then saw my action and paused, said I think Whitlock shoves today. If Whitlock shoves today and it's almost like I do not trust Sandy Alcantara. So yes, Whitlock can shove. I will then cash the Red Sox first 5. If he doesn't, I think Sandy Alcantara is vulnerable, and I moved on the over 5. So let's talk about the weather here, and then we'll hear what Jose thinks about this spot, and then Pistol Pete will be right after that. So first, let's go to the weather in Boston. 73 Fahrenheit, 8.9 miles per hour to left field. Gets up to 9.7 miles per hour. Let's see what we have for Fenway here from Ballpark Pal. Minus 7% home runs, plus 20% doubles and triples. The wind is blowing out towards the Green Monster, I believe. Let me just double. Yes, it is blowing right to the Green Monster. So that's why that 20% doubles and triples will be elevated. Plus 4% runs overall in this spot. Billy Friedrich also liking the first 5 over. Drip Skylark says, must be bloody hands across the world trying to catch the falling knife of Sandy Alcantara. Well put. Troy Torrance says the Marlins offense has been trash. But let's talk about the line history here and a very quick table setting. First off, on this total opened up at 9. It moved to 9.5 about 1:45 in the morning. So let's see what the first 5 has done on the total, as that's my involvement here. I do like both of these bullpens. This opened up at, I love the way this is all moving. I see minus 124, so minus 125. So I got minus 105. To see it even moved up to 5.5 at 4:14 this morning and at 3:30 this morning. Right now we have 13 cents of movement to the first 5 over. That makes me feel very, very good. These were the first 2 bets that I made today or last night. Here on the money line for the full game, we have the Red Sox opening up at minus 106 and now minus 121, 15 cents of movement towards them. I like that very, very much. I like all of that. Well, everything that's happening here, I like very, very much. On the first 5, look at this. Bet Chris hanging a minus 130. I got minus 115. This is wonderful. This actually opened up at 8:09 this morning at Bet Chris. So maybe that's not the best book to touch on. Why don't we look at my bookie, who would have got this out earlier? Shout out to the anonymous gambler, who's a great capper, runs the book there. Boston opening up minus 119, 11 cents of movement to Boston on the first 5. This is all just falling right into place for me. Let's just see if the cash flow will keep the confidence train rolling. On the total, 53% of the tickets, 59% of the cash on the over. We've seen it move up a half run. And on the money line, 58% of tickets and 86% of cash on the Boston Red Sox. I mean, this is just everything is perfect here for me. Everything is correlating for me, except if Garrett Whitlock really does shove. I mean, he's coming off a 5.4 extra inning loss at Minnesota where he allowed 4 earned runs over 7 innings, but 4.50 ERA. Look, at home, he's been really good. 2-0 over 18 and 2/3, 3.38 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 5 walks, 231 opponents batting average. Hasn't allowed a home run in Boston. And Sandy Alcantara has been bad. 42 innings on the road, 5.36 ERA, opponents hitting 274 off of him. The Marlins and Red Sox since June 1st are both hitting righties mediocre, maybe a little below average. Marlins hitting with nice average, 261, 721 OPS, not enough power. Red Sox 247, 717. And I like both of these bullpens, and I'm just keeping the bullpens out of it. Jose Bouquet, what do you think of my action? Red Sox first 5 -115 and Miami Boston over 5 -105.
Yeah, I shout out to me because I stayed up late last night fucking capping, but I didn't make any bets because I was like, I don't know if I should make them, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to move on the Red Sox last night. I didn't have to take the shittier ends of the line. So I'm on them with you. Red Sox full game money line, -123. And first 5, I have to take -0.5 at even money for me there. I wish I would have gotten on it earlier, obviously, but I do think they win today. Their 5th full season against righties at home this year, 117 weighted runs created plus. Their last 2 weeks have been pretty gross at 23rd, 97 weighted runs created plus. But it's just they're better at home. They're just so much better offense at home. And if they could play every game at home, maybe they'd be a competent, not average baseball team. But until then, they'll continue to be brutally, brutally average. So I do think they win today, and I'll be excited to see what my guy Luis Ariz does with the Green Monster, and it'll be the first guy back at Fenway Park hitting above 400 since Ted Williams, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll all be fun. And shout to him for being Venezuela. I mean, I should have said that he was going to do something like this when he hit the biggest home run of my then life against the United States, and then we won't talk about what happened after.
I like it. What did you get on the full game?
-123.
Have you tweeted this out?
No, yeah, that's why I'm getting the shittier end of the price. Like last night, I saw it at -115. I was like, I should bet that, but I waited, and I'm getting the shit prices.
And did we looked around for the best price here? I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to shop around here. Let's hear what Pistol Pete has to say. We have some very confident cappers in the chat. Very confident. Piker, Troy, a lot of these guys liking the Red Sox here. Top set. This is, I guess it makes me a tiny bit nervous that we all are just going to fade Alcantara here, but I like it. Let's hear what Pete has to say. Take it away, Pete. Marlins, Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with everyone. A little bit surprised by the line. I'm definitely liking, first 3 over, first 5 over, and running the first yes. Definitely like Boston, although a little bit concerned that the opening line was so off from what I would have expected. So then also, of course, leading Boston team total over. Whitlock, yes, mediocre, but better at home. And Alcantara is definitely fadeable, but he's going to have as good starts or better surprising starts. There's no reason for me to think that this is going to be one of them, either statistically or based on gut feel. So yeah, I'm agreeing with what everyone was saying. I do like running the first 3 over. I agree with you that even if Whitlock is great, those bets are still possibly live because of Alcantara's struggles. So, yeah, I'm thinking about all that, Jim.
As you should. I feel pretty good about the situation here. By the way, I can get you that first 5 -0.5 at +111 at Pinnacle, which means I can get you the first 5 at -119 at Pinnacle.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to Jose.
I would much rather take the first 5 money line at -1. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that first 5 money line -119 available right now at Pinnacle, and the full game at -121. One of one Benny, putting it perfectly here, absolutely perfectly. Our guy, one of one Benny. It's for some reason StreamYard won't let it up here, but I see it here, and he's saying smash that like for Jose's saggy tits one time for the one time.
Mm-hmm. One time for the one time.
Pete, are you? As Jay's final take is doing, letting his nuts hang. Yeah. Are you going to let your nuts?
First, put me down for this. Red Sox -1 +115, current line at Pinnacle. Red Sox -1 +115, current line at Pinnacle. You can also throw on running the first yes at -110. That's at Will Hill. Running the first yes minus 110. And I'm thinking about throwing on like a first 3 or first 5 over as well.
Well, Jay's final take says his saggy tits are almost gone. That breaks my heart. Stop going to the gym if that's the case.
I
Stop
thought he
it.
was talking about my saggy tits. I was like,
No.
they're not going anywhere. I'm
No,
not
no,
going to
no.
the gym.
Let me ask you a question, Jose Bouquet. Just a few more seconds here. Whitlock, he's been so much better at home, is capable of strong home starts. What's your take on Whitlock in general and in this spot?
I'd say off the top of my head, well, no, James Paxton, I guess, is the second best starter on the Red Sox. He's been quality all year. He came back from an injury last year that he made him look like shit, and now he can actually move around and pitch well. So I do expect him to have a good start, but the Marlins are a good baseball team. Let's just not forget that the Marlins are second place in their division. The analytics and all that say they're the luckiest team in baseball, whatever. They still have a guy hitting 400 in an outfield that's very capable of hitting the ball out of the yard. So, and the wind's going out for them too, so that the win factor definitely matters as well. So,
all right,
I don't necessarily think overs.
You can add on first 5 over 5 minus 114 for me as well, Jimmy the Bag. I'll pass on the first 3 at 2.5 minus. I'll take first 5 over 5 minus 114.
You got it. I got that Bet 365 last night after our live stream. Thank you guys to everybody who supported our live stream last night. A lot of winning. And I got it minus 105. So I feel very good about all of this. Joe Yerger says, I think the odds are about right. Says markets have already crashed on Alcantara. I don't see any value here. I do at the numbers I got. So, but I hear you. It's moving briskly over to the Boston Red Sox. And TJ says, will it get to 5.5 so he can take the under? It's very possible here. Very, very possible.
On the first 5, he says.
Yeah.
By the way, Jim, we're simpatico again in Cleveland, Kansas City.
Oh, good. That makes me excited. Now that is some concern. TJ wanting the 5.5 to take the under. He is on the over. He does not believe in my man, Mr. Singer. But we will talk about that spot here coming up. So why don't you jump on for that spot to give me more confidence if you can?
Yeah, I'll inflate your ego. I'll give you the suck and blow. Don't worry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, just talk baseball. I prefer that. Much prefer that.
Fair enough. Are you going to call me a giant again?
Let's review all action here. Jose on Red Sox first 5 minus 119, full game minus 121. That's available right now at Pinnacle. I moved last night on the first 5 minus 115 and Miami Boston over 5 minus 105. That was available at Bet 365. Loshak's on the Reds minus 1 at plus 115. The Yurfee at minus 110. And the first 5 over 5 at minus 114. Jay's final take, let your nuts hang, play of the day's Boston money line. And, we're all over here. We're all over here. Okay, let's roll on. Oh, and we have a 5.5 at Bookmaker. And, if you wanted to look at Pinnacle right now, the total here on that 5, you can get under 5.5 minus 129. So it's on its way. It's on its way.
Beautiful. By the way, Jimmy, I forgot to mention this. Billy Friedrich found Boston money line minus 119 at Bookmaker. So shout out to him.
Okay, let's give you that right now. So you got minus 119 on both. Dom play. Not. I guess what is that? The Royals one. Let's talk about it here. But no, I would never. If a 5 drops to 4.5, I think you have to let it go 100% of the time. The 5 has to be a push and not a loss. So, no, I don't think you should chase these movements, market moves, especially when we have 15 games to pick from Dom play. So, no, I don't think you should ever do it. Also, the under 5.5 is minus 117 at Bookmaker. Ooh-wee.
Wow.
Okay, let's roll on. Thank you, Jose, for your Red Sox insights. We'll bring you back for that Royals start. Let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. I moved on this one as well. You guys know that I would say 90% of my totals are unders. I have an over in the Red Sox game, and I have an over here. I took the first 5 over 5 at minus 120 in the spot. Brewers at New York Met City Field in Queens, New York. Mets are 8 games under 500, which makes me point and laugh at them. And the Brew Crew 4 games over 500 and 19 on the road. And there's the gift from TJ. The gift is in. Milwaukee, first 5, plus a half at minus 110. First 5, plus a half at minus 110. The gift is 21-8, 72.4% plus 13.03 units. ROI plus 41.2%, average line minus 104. And that's over the last 2 years. That's every gift that he's given us here on our show. I'll pop this into the chat just so everybody can see just how glorious the gifts record is. All right, here we go. Slatsy says Peterson 0-1 with a 10.38 ERA in 3 games versus the Brewers. It'd been awful overall. Yeah, I don't trust them. And the Brewers are now starting to hit lefties a little. Enough for me to take that first 5 over 5 at minus 120. Let's take a look at the line history here and what's gone on here, whether I should be confident or not. Full game here. We have the Mets opening up at minus 136. They're now minus 142. 6 cents of movement over to the New York Mets at Pinnacle. This line came out at 717 last night. Let's move over to the total here in this one. I have the first 5 up because that's the one I want to look at the most. Pinnacle has moved it to 5.5. That's just fucking beautiful. It's exactly what I want to see. There's still 5s over at exactly the price I got it at, but love seeing Pinnacle moving over to the 5.5. Let's take a look at what they're doing for the full game here on the total. This full game is opened up at 9 as a pick'em, and Pinnacle's moved that to 9.5 as well. So we have a move to the over, 6 cents of movement to the New York Mets. And see where the cash lies in this one. For the money line, 66% of the tickets, 97% of the cash on the Milwaukee Brewers. Wow, that's wild. From a total standpoint, you have 49% of the tickets and 76% of cash on that over. TJ said Peterson got sent down to get right. Well, in 4 June starts in AAA, the 5.59 ERA and a 1.66 whip. Not exactly getting right. Gifted Cartel says he's on the under 9. Well, you should, if you want, you can wait. If anybody likes the under, because you can get 9.5. Joe Yurkovich says, Pete, you got to like the Brewers some way here, right?
I think he's making fun of me, though.
I don't know. I don't think so. Here we go.
He's like, oh my God, a super obvious play like this, Pete. This has you written all over it. You like this play. I know that. I think that's what he means by that.
Nuffleshan says Bruins team total over is a play he's working on today. Devin Williams being used in back-to-back games, says Christian Larson. And here quickly, I like to fade a pitcher that I don't really. Now, I'm not fading Tehran because I don't believe in David Peterson, but I am on the over 5. He's had 3 straight home starts. Look, on the road, he's been very good. He's only throwing 12 in the third on the road, but I find it hard to believe that Julio Tehran can be gone from the league for a few years, 2 years, come back and be an ace. I just find, in fact, I find it impossible to believe. Now, his numbers indicate that that's exactly what's happening here. 1.53 ERA, 0.88 whip. Yeah, fucking blow me. Peterson should not be trusted. The Brewers rating 235, 709 OPS versus lefties. The Mets 225, 684 versus righties since June 1st. And the Mets bullpen's not look good. So Sharpie says Peterson got sent down 2 times this year, only up because they need a 5th starter and will be sent down right after. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete. Brewers, Mets.
Yeah, I mean, we're all seeing the same thing here. The line makes really no sense. I mean, if this was the friggin', Orioles or the Braves or something instead of the Mets lineup, sure, it would make some sense. But Peterson, getting crushed before, went down to the minors, was a little bit better, but didn't get it right. And I'm not exactly sure why anyone would think. And Tehran, has been great. His peripherals in the last start were worse, but he still is, there's a lot of other peripherals that are good for him, which are indicating why he's had some success. The walks aren't great. I've been doing this a long time, as have you, Jimmy the Bag, and everyone's looking at this. The line and the line movement doesn't quite make sense. I think Nutflush Allen, who's also been doing this a long time and is a little bit more savvy than at least I, is probably, he's looking at just the Milwaukee team total over to isolate a play on Peterson being bad and not a bet on Milwaukee to actually win the game, even as a dog. So if Tehran unexpectedly gets crushed, you still will cash. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, a Milwaukee first 5 team total over has to be something that we're thinking about, right? Right?
I'm not, 3 straight home starts for Tehran. Now he goes out on the road against the Mets team that's certainly scuffling. I would prefer to utilize both. But I like where I am. I like TJ's gift. I think this gift makes a ton of sense. So, but I just can't. I have a bias towards Tehran, I guess. I just don't believe there's no fucking miracles in Shawshank, man. I mean, I don't.
All right, Jim, we can't not do it. Milwaukee Brewers, first 5, team total over 2.5 plus 130. Current line at Heritage, you can make that official.
Well, I mean, if that hits, then the gift is going to hit. Loshak is on the Brewers' first 5, team total over 2.5. What was the juice?
Plus 130, current line at Heritage.
Plus 130. Says Jimmy loves all struggling pitchers. Yeah, I agree to you. So, I think the gift is I think the gift makes sense, man. I think that Peterson is certainly vulnerable. You're getting a half plus a half at a pick'em price. I would just be curious to see what I'm being offered here. Plus a half minus 120 here. I could also see what Bet Online is doing. I think that I think the gift is a good bet here. I think I'm going to tail it. I think all signs point to. Let me just go over the cash flow again. All these bets on the Brewers money line makes me a little nervous. 97% of the cash on the Brewers makes me a little nervous. But I like it. I think I'm going to tail my friend and yours, TJ here. Loshak, are you going to add anything to the Brewers' first 5 team?
I was thinking about adding on at Will Hill just the full game team total over 4 at minus 125, but I won't get crazy. Peterson should be vulnerable, and if he is, we should cash that dog line. Plus 130. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I'll pull the trigger on
it. Sorry. Are you pulling the trigger on the first 5 plus a half? Did you say? No.
Me?
Just the team total for you?
Yeah, first 5 team total over 2.5 plus 130.
Oh yeah, fairy tales. My bad, Lucas. Not miracles. Okay. I think I'm gonna add TJ's spot, but I certainly like my first 5 over 5 at minus 120. All right. Let's roll on. So we're all over that one. This one is really interesting, and let's break it down. Minnesota Twins at Atlanta Braves. Twinkies 40-40, 17-21 on the road. Braves 51-27, 25-15 at home. Really would like the Braves to pull out the brooms here in this series, as I have the Guardians to win the division. We're in Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go to the weather here in Atlanta. 87 Fahrenheit, 10.2 miles per hour to left, goes down to 6.2. It's hot in Hotlanta. Let's take a look at the Ballpark Pal and see. I should probably refresh Ballpark Pal as well. But right now they have Truist at plus, not as offensive as you think, plus 1% home runs, plus 3% doubles and triples, plus 5% runs. And I will refresh that, see if that changes at all. No changes there with the refreshing. And let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Minnesota Twins, Atlanta Braves. A spectacular pitching matchup here with Ryan versus Bryce Elder. This opened up at 9 at a pick'em. The first move was to the over all the way until it moved to 5.5 at Pinnacle at 5:33 in the morning. It only lasted there for 1 minute before it got back to 9. And that's where we stand right now. 9 minus 111 to the under. So 5 cents of movement to the under. Let's go over to the cash flow and see what we are dealing with. Full game here. We have the Braves opening up at minus 136. They're now minus 152, 16 cents of movement there. And we have Joe Ryan going up against Bryce Elder. So just before I discuss them, let's just talk about the cash flow. 56% of the tickets, 54% of the cash on the Atlanta Braves. And from a total perspective, you have 91% of tickets, 98% of cash on the under. It's only moved 5 cents. Here we go. Joe Ryan, 8-4, 2.98 ERA, 0.91 whip. His last start was a completo shutout at home over the Red Sox. 9 innings, 9 Ks, no walks. He threw a season high 112 pitches, but he's throwing 100-plus pitches now 5 times in his 15 starts. And yes, 112 was his season high, but he's gone up to 108 before. I don't think that should be too much of a problem. BJ says after Joe Ryan went 9 innings, I think we fade that. He's on Braves money line here. 1 of 1 Benny's on mini Atlanta, Nerfy and first 5 under 4.5. Both of those at plus money. So Joe Ryan on the road, 3.26 ERA, a little bit worse than his home ERA, but still really strong. 221 opponent's batting average. Bryce Elder has been nothing short of spectacular. Again, at Philly, 7 innings, no earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks. At home, 3.10 ERA, 253 opponent's batting average. Twins rating 239, 707 versus righties. Listen to what the Braves are doing since June 1st. 311, 934. Braves bullpen also being very good. Braves are just a juggernaut. Take it away for us here, Pete. Twinkies, Braves.
Yeah, it's a tough one. In general, I've been pretty high on Ryan and done well betting on him to pitch well. But Elder, I know that everyone is expecting regression from him, as am I. But my regression might be I'm expecting maybe a little bit less stark of regression than other people might be thinking about. They point to a lot. I mean, he gets a lot of grounders. So his BABIP is naturally going to be a little bit better. I think in a similar way to Kyle Hendricks, who for a long time had peripherals that indicated that he wasn't as good as his results were, but then later on it turned out that there actually was some fundamental stuff that was giving him good results. I think there might be something similar going on with Elder here at the low line. I know a lot of people are liking Minnesota here, but I would be leaning Atlanta, but I think I'm probably going to pass on this one.
Yeah, I think Atlanta should be moved on. I feel like, Sharpie, by the way, saying this is an under from the gods. Says
Right.
Joe Ryan is the real deal, fellas, and the Twins can't hit.
I don't know if any game at Atlanta is ever an under from the gods, although Sharpie might be right. Sharpie certainly has a better read on that than me.
Yeah, I think that the Braves have a spot here. TJ says he's betting the under if it gets to 9.5. Topset says, I see Joe Ryan negative regression. You know what that means? Back to Braves and the shifty Twins are back. Braves first 5 full game under as well. 101 Benny Billy. I just think this is a nice price for me to take the Braves -1 full game. Even if Joe Ryan shoves, I think I should be live. So Phillies backwoods looking at first 5 says first 5 under might be a spot. Steve G's on that first 5 under. Billy Friedrich is on the Twinkies team total under 4.5 -127 says Twins have scored 5 or more runs only twice in the last 10.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
And TJ says books are happy with under money, though. That's concerning. It is concerning. It's concerning enough for me, even though I agree with the X's and O's of what Sharpie's saying, that I don't think I want to bet it. If I had a free bet, I would trust these pitchers, even in the heat of Hotlanta. But I'm just going to take Braves -1. I feel like all signs point to the Braves taking care of business, even though Joe Ryan is a hell of a pitcher. All right. Pistol Pete, you moving on this one, or do we move on?
God, I'm an inch away from taking the Braves. I'm an inch away from taking Minnesota team total under. I'm an inch away from taking, maybe no run in the first or something like that. But for now, I guess I'm going to hold off. We got to be careful. If I was having a better June, I'd probably pull a trigger or two there. But I'm going to hold off for now.
All right, let's move on. 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Houston Astros 42-36, 20-17 on the road. At St. Louis Cardinals 32-45, 14-22 at home. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's take a look at the weather first at Busch. We have 89 Fahrenheit, 5.9 miles per hour left to right in. Then it becomes fully in, but it always stays between 5.9 and 5 miles per hour. It is hot. Let's see what Ballpark Pal has for offense here. And a bit of a surprise here at Busch Stadium. Minus 19% home runs, minus 4% doubles and triples, minus 10% runs. Very, very interesting. There's my guy Markel in the house. There's Noli Knows rolling with us. Noli Knows. Okay, let's take a look at this total. First, we'll take a look at the money line, but I'm very interested in this total. First off, this is a full game, right? Very little movement in this one. This one opened up with Houston minus 114 and now minus 107. I guess that shouldn't say very little movement. 6 cents of movement towards the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's take a look at the total here. We have this total opening up at 8, and Pinnacle's moved at 7.5. So this opened at 8.5. Wow, we've moved a full run now. I didn't realize this opened up at 8.5. Oh, that's because it just opened. This opened up at Pinnacle at 10:47 this morning.
Yeah, I didn't have it in line until the very until a minute before the show started.
Wow,
And the line
44.
stayed loose. I saw St. Louis as a dog and 8.5, and I was like, "What the hell?" Loving St. Louis and the under on both of those, but now they've moved, obviously.
TJ says this opened up at plus 105 at Bet Online. He made an immediate move on St. Louis. Yeah. Noli knows has given us the skull. Mm-hmm. And Joe Yerrick says, remember Jimmy Ballpark Pal's model this year incorporates batter versus pitcher. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. It's beautiful thing here, Ballpark Pal. And from their words, combine the effect of park and weather and applying individual batters according to their hitting profile. Historical batted ball data. The game factors displayed here come from aggregating the batter projections and weighted by expected plate appearances. Wow. Astros money line from LJ from H-Town. He says Valdez is money on the road. Cardinals are 6-19 on the first game of the series. Nutflush Odd says, just my opinion, but as we approach the MLB All-Star break, soon these division leaders will really push to continue to stack wins as the basement teams want to get a vacation started. So here with this spot, 44% of the tickets, 88% cash on the over. It's certainly not moving in that direction. Then you have 73% of tickets and 99% of cash. Now, only 4,916 tickets in, but 99% of cash on the Astros in the market moving towards the St. Louis Cardinals, which tells me that Jordan Montgomery is going to pitch well here. He's coming off a great start at Washington, 7 innings and 1 earned run. His numbers are bad at home, 286 opponents batting average, but he's had 2 home starts in June, one versus the Giants and one versus the Reds, both teams who hit lefties hard. And he allowed just 3 earned runs over 12 in the third with 13 strikeouts and 3 walks. Astros are hitting 295, 797 OPS versus lefties. Cardinals just 203, 565. But the Astros bullpen's been really bad at 5.20 ERA since June 1st. Framber Valdez is being very good this year and very good on the road as well. Overall, he's been quite a bit better at home, but those road numbers are very good. Still 33 innings, 4-1, 2.73 ERA, 188 opponents batting average. Take it away for us here, Pete. The Cardinals are appealing. 99% of cash on the Astros and the market moving towards Cardinals. I think we know the answer to that.
I think I like the under more, though. Jimmy the Bag. Montgomery is do you trust him? I think so. Not 100% sure, but if he does get hit, it wouldn't be a surprise if Valdez throws 7 shutout innings, sneaks under anyway. Love to be getting 8.5. If I have to take under, okay. I mean, if I have to take 8, okay. But leaning under and a little bit more so St. Louis. But my read on St. Louis there did not factor in the London trip, which maybe is a factor that matters a lot. My initial statistical read on this game was that St. Louis should not be a dog, and liking the under more. So maybe I'll throw on the under. I think I will, Jim. Let me quote a line for you. Go ahead.
The bullpens concern you at all in their poor play in June? Would we be better off taking the first 5 at 4?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that, but again, according to what I'm looking at here, it's entirely possible that Montgomery actually gets hit, Valdez is lights out, and the game sneaks under at like a 6-1. Where the first 5 is not a good bet. So yeah, of course it's iffy, very much so, Jim.
The 88% of tickets on the over in the market, the market keep moving down. Professor Chris says model is 8.3 total runs in this game for what it's worth. Noli knows wants you to ride with him. There's picks from Dave in the house. Tell me didn't just say that. Says Cardinals coming back from London trip and had a sickness going through the locker room as well. Probably square, but I got to roll with the dice and fade them here.
Yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. All right, let's just throw that on to start. Under 8 minus 108, current line at Heritage. We'll do that. If it loses, that's okay. But Houston, St. Louis, we're going to need Montgomery to not get crushed. Under 8 minus 108.
Under 8 minus 108. And I think it'll be the first 5 under 4 for me here. First 5 under 4 in Astros Cardinals. And I get why he's on the Cardinals, and I get it here. But I'm going to take the first 5 under 4. Noli Knows says he feels like they'll each go 6 or 7. Jay Stone says it takes 2 days to readjust 2 time zones east-west. How many days does it take when you get back from London? All right. So Loshak on the under 8 minus 108.
And I definitely might be on Houston first 5 here. I'm liking that quite a bit.
All right.
Might add to one. Go ahead, Jim.
No, there's nothing more for me to say. I'm excited about the spot. This will be an addition for me.
All right, you know what? I'll add that one on. Houston first five. Let me just see what Pinnacle has here. Sorry, let me just see. Yeah, minus 112. We can use that. The Pinnacle line first five minus 112. Houston first five minus 112.
You are locked in, my friend. Let's roll on. Nice to have a little addition there to my card. We move on.
Heritage minus 110. Houston first five minus 110. There we go.
There you go. You are locked in. Let's roll. Next up for us, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, the Detroit Tigers at the Texas Rangers. So the Phillies and the Rangers and the Braves were all favorites that I wanted to talk out here. We talked out the Braves. I moved on them. All's good. By the way, Sharpie says the prop say Valdez is going deep and not striking people out today. Noli says when Pete said Houston first five, it felt right. Says thinks that's the better play. Okay, let's roll on to this Tigers Rangers spot at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Let's take a look at the weather just to make sure it's over 80 Fahrenheit, which we are pretty certain it will be, and it's at 102. So the roof will be closed. Let's take a look at the line history here for Texas Tigers. This total opening up at 9 has moved to 9.5. But it actually opened at 9.5 because it didn't open up at Pinnacle till this morning. But we know that the books that opened this up last night, opened up at 9, opened up here at 9.5, juice to the under minus 112. So there's been 6 cents of movement at Pinnacle, but that's not a fair, analysis because we know that this just opened up this morning. So money line, let's take a look at the money line here, full game for Martin Perez, and the market's still moving to the Tigers. It's been moving to the Tigers, since this opened up. Opened up at 8:39 this morning at plus 186 for the Tigers. Within an hour, they were plus 180. Then they got down to their lowest point at 10:24 this morning, plus 164. They're back at plus 172. So we have a real move towards the Tigers, and a slight move to the over. So let's pull out the cash flow then here on the total. We don't know because this line came out so late. Only 3,694 tickets out. Same with the Phillies Cubs. We're not going to know where the cash is, but we'll get to that one. But 86% of the tickets on the Tigers. And then from a money line perspective, you have 28% of the tickets on Detroit and 73% of the cash. Clear, sharp money here on Matt Manning, the 9th overall pick out of high school in the 2016 draft, coming back from the IL. We have not seen him since early April. He had a foot injury, a fracture in his right foot. So he had 8 2/3 minor league rehab assignment at AAA Toledo, 3 starts. And he didn't allow any earned runs. He allowed 1 unearned run, but there was 8 walks in those 8 2/3. That doesn't concern me. Look, I don't want to fade Martin Perez at home. I don't know why anybody wants to fade him at home. 1.71 ERA, 220 opponents batting average. He just, stops father time when he's at home and he gets on the road and he looks like a, old wasted pitcher. Last start was at the White Sox and I faded him. And that was a mistake. He looked great. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 1 over, 2 Ks, 2 walks. The White Sox sticks are atrocious. The Tigers are hitting lefties all of a sudden. They hadn't been for a while. They're a real Jekyll and Hyde team against lefties. 222, 742 OPS. Rangers 267, 801 versus righties. And Tigers bullpen's been very good. 3.29 ERA since June 1st, while the Rangers are sitting at 3.96. Take it away here for us. Pistol Pete, Loshak, Detroit Tigers, Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I'm very angry, Jimmy the Bag, because last night I was all over the Rangers. I was all over the Detroit with my cap, but I forgot what the hell happened, and I looked up and I was like, damn it, I forgot to put the friggin' bet in, and of course that was a big win for them. This one, Manning, of course, the wild card, returning from injury. Probably he'll be all right. More likely than not, he'll be all right, but it's a wild card. And Perez, like you said, far from lights out, but decent, especially at home. When I saw these lines, I was like, despite what happened yesterday, the line's too high. I'd definitely be leaning Detroit as a huge dog and under at 9.5.
Yeah, I'm going to run far away from this market move towards Matt Manning. I don't want to fade Martin Perez. I got a lot of action that I really like, and I'm very comfortable letting this one go. I planned to let it go anyways. I was curious to see if the market was coming back at all. Clear sharp money on the Tigers, and God bless them.
Although, I think I will throw it on. I mean, my numbers like it. Perez is, Manning is such a huge. God, he's such a huge. I was going to say maybe the first 5 under 5.5, but Manning, it's a wild card. He's a wild card.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. Strong lean to first 5 under 5.5.
Here we go. Next up for us, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. This is the second one I really wanted to talk about. Philadelphia Phillies 40-37, 19-23 on the road. Chicago Cubs 37-39, 20-17 at home at Wrigley Field, Chicago, Illinois. We'll start with the weather at Wrigley. We have 68 Fahrenheit, 10.3 miles per hour in, and then it swirls to the point where it's actually out, right to left, slightly out by the end of the game. But 10.3 to 7.4, it dies down to. See what Ballpark Pal thinks here about this spot in Phillies Cubs. We have at Wrigley. This is the worst spot for offense on today's card. Minus 14% home runs, minus 5% doubles and triples, minus 6% singles, and minus 13% runs. TJ says, curious to hear your take, or our take on this, says Philly first 5 money line. Look, I couldn't understand the line. You guys know, I said to you guys that the BABIP for Suarez made no sense. His road numbers made no sense. Remember, I said that to you, and I don't believe I moved on it the first time I said it to you guys. Since then, I have been, and he's been cashing for me on unders. He did lose his last start 4-2 at the Braves, but he's been awesome. His last 4 starts, 26 innings, he's allowed 3 earned runs. So that was one of the things that had frustrated me so much about this season, is that my reads on some of these pitchers have been right. How am I sitting here, down units on the year? Really, really frustrating, but I see the black of my future, man. On the road, Suarez has been awesome. 2.19 ERA now only 24 2/3, but he's really turned around. Allowed one jack against Tyon. Now, Tyon looked better in that 6-3 loss at home to the Orioles, but he's been horrific at home. 7.16 ERA, 333 opponent's batting average. And look, I think I understand that Tyon's probably better than those numbers indicate. I mean, that's easy to say. But I see such a big advantage in every single facet here. The Cubs aren't hitting lefties, 222, 707 versus lefties. Phillies are hitting 267, 750. I guess the only thing you could say is the Cubs bullpen. The juice in the house is bad spot for the Cubs traveling back from London as well. So let's pull up the line history and then send it over to Pete. This has moved even more now towards the Chicago Cubs. I mean, this is nuts to me. This is nuts. I guess it's not. I mean, I guess it's just a couple cents movement, but this is crazy. Let's see what it is at Bet365, because I was staring at the minus 130 going, how could they put it there? And now it's minus 125. Absolutely wild. So let's take a look at the total here. The market telling us that Tyon is going to pitch well here. I don't want to fade Suarez. If I didn't look at all at these numbers, I'd be on Philadelphia first 5 full game. But we all saw what my record looked like when I didn't care about these numbers. Not that I didn't care about that, where we didn't focus on them. The over opening up at 8.5 minus 117 is now minus 108. So we've had, depending on what, plus 104 to minus 104. So 10 cents of movement on the under. And let's take a look at the cash flow here. And then hand it over to Pete. 59% of tickets, 73% of cash on the Phillies. Why is the market not moving over to them? Befuddled, betwixt. I'm off. Pete, take it away here, Phillies Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said is the right stuff. Not exactly sure in 2023 what causes midday line movements like this, and we can see by closing lines whether there's any buyback, which in this case I suspect there will be. I don't see any reason not to take Philly first 5, first 3. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but with reservation, as you explained.
I get it. By the way, a question here from our guy, Nutflush, says, what can you get for the Phillies team total over? That's at 4.5 at minus 104 at Pinnacle, slightly juiced to the under. And there's our guy Al Cervic in the house who made us that incredible picture, Pete.
Oh, shout out to you, Al Sturvik.
Yeah, what a great guy. I love him. I absolutely love him.
All right, let's start. You can make that official for me, Jim. Pinnacle line, Philly first half minus 131.
And the I'm using it from 10:50, like 11 a.m. this morning. So this is not, even though I knew anyone who was looking at RotoWire knew that Tylen was going to pitch, but yes, those are numbers from 11 a.m. So those are numbers only of the last hour and 25 minutes. TJ, and look here, I get it. I completely get it. TJ saying circa bet online all open around minus 122. I mean, isn't that basically still? Let's just go over bet online's movement. So again, this is starting at 10:54 a.m. It opens at minus 121. It's just right there at minus 122. We've had 1 cent of movement to the Phillies, and if we go take a look at what bet online did, is we know that they are a fearless book, and we have our opportunity here for 100% match up to $1,000 on new accounts here. But here, let's just take a look at what they've done with this one. Oh, shoot, that's the wrong one. Sorry, let me just see what BetOnline did with this Phillies game. They have Phillies Cubs. They're at minus 126, and they opened this up at minus 115 yesterday. But again, so I mean, that looks a little better, 11 cents of movement. I get it. Pete, what are you locking in?
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs are going to be, it's going to be 9 righties, of course, in the lineup. Yeah, this is, you know what? I'll hold off on this one. Take that back. I don't want to make that official. Yeah, I don't want it.
It just doesn't. If this was a smaller card, and I felt like, I'm not going to have enough action tonight, I would join, but I can't do that here. There's our guy BT in the house. What up, BT? DC Capper moving on the Orioles here. Justin McElvey, Phillies team total over 4. Oh, he's just telling our guy. Phillies backwoods says I would take my Phillies, but Phillies are 1-4 in their last 5 meetings in Chicago, so might move on the under. And TJ talking about Tylen's earlier start versus Philly. I get it. I completely understand why you are on the Phillies. I just feel like let's just go look at the cash once more here before I decide just to let this go, because here we go. On the money line, we have 59% ticket, 73% cash on the Phillies. So why is there not a bigger move there? I got to let it go. So let's move on. Next up, we have a double up here for me. Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City Royals, Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Part of this, and we're going to get our guy, Jose Bouquet, star of Say Hey Plays a Day, to join us here just to give me more confidence on this spot. And hopefully the market will as well, and I don't know if it will. This was the last bet I made before I got into the show, so I probably made it 2.5 hours ago. I like Brady Singer. I made that clear to all of you guys. I made a lot of money off of him last year. He was a huge part of my second half, to be honest with you. And his last start was bad. 9-4 loss at the Tigers. But at home, his numbers are bad. But his last 2 home starts, 11 innings, he's allowed 2 earned runs, 12 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Billy Friedrich's on the full game over in this. Jonathan Cook just locked in the first 5 for the Phillies. Top set liking the Kansas City Royals team total over. I heard from Sharpie last night, and one of the great things about our Monday night live show is just that he's there, and you can ask him questions about the pitchers. And he is expecting Gavin Williams to show out here in his second career start. And I like that idea. We also heard from Nicholas Earl, who watched Gavin Williams pitch at East Carolina and said that he was, an absolute stud. And he didn't get to start. He was coming out of the bullpen, and he finally got to start in 2021 as a senior. And in 81 and a 30 at 130 strikeouts, he allowed 3 home runs, 21 walks. So then in 2022, he's in high A and double A. And I mean, it's just 149 strikeouts in 115 innings with 40 walks. Then this year, he starts out in double A Akron. He gets 3 starts there. In double A Akron, in 3 starts, he allows 1 earned run, strikes out 20, walks 3. Then he goes up to AAA Columbus, and he's excellent. I mean, excellent. 2.93 ERA, a 1.09 WHIP in the 46 innings at Columbus. He strikes out 61. Now he does walk 21. And then he does not look good in his first career start. This is a first-round pick, 23rd overall in 2021. Well, I want to back him here against the Royals, who are hitting 244 with a 696 OPS. TJ says last 4 right-handed pitchers to face Cleveland, averaging 4.1 innings with 8.85 ERA, 1.95 WHIP. It says Singer gets rocked in capital letters. So that scares me. Why wouldn't it? The Guardians are smashing righties, 290, 771 OPS. But this is a pitcher's ballpark, and a ballpark where I've made money off Singer, and I expect to do that here again. But obviously it makes me nervous to hear what TJ's saying. It's 88 Fahrenheit, 6.4 miles per hour right to left. It stays right to left throughout the game. Going over to Ballpark Pal here to get their take on Kaufman. They have Kaufman minus 24% home runs today, plus 11% doubles and triples, but minus 24 and minus 1% overall. So, and TJ says Singer is fool's gold. Says the last 4 starts come against garbage offenses. So, obviously, this all makes me nervous, but I got plus money on the first 3 under 2.5 at plus 115, and I got first 5 under 5 at plus 100. It's still right there at plus 100. And the first 3 under 2.5 is, sorry, give me a quick second here. The first 3 under 2.5 is still at plus 115. So we've had no movement at all on those spots. That's better than if the market was moving against me. So here at Pinnacle with Brady Singer on the hill, we have Kansas City opening up at plus 123. That's exactly where they are right now at plus 123. So no movement there. I mean, there had been some movement, but it's right back to where it started. It's a John Donne poem. The circle's just starts where, or it finishes where it begun. And then we have on the total, this opening up here, full game at 9 minus 115 to the over. So we've had 5 cents of movement towards this under. And when we get to the cash flow for this Royals spot, we have 46% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. Now, the market isn't moving towards them, but it's not moving at all, so I'm okay there. And then from a total perspective, we have 47% of tickets and 64% of cash on the under. So at this point, it makes me – and then TJ's saying all the cash is on KC. Yeah, 83% cash. A lot of cash on KC, no doubt about it. But, I put my goddamn money where my goddamn mouth is. Jose, take it away. Guardians, Royals.
Yeah, I don't believe in the Guardians offense either. They've been hitting well these last couple of weeks. 12th best, 112 weighted runs created plus. Full season, though, they're still 22nd, 90, 89 weighted runs created plus. So I still don't believe in them. I took the first 5 under 5 here as well. I got it at minus 105, and I tweeted it out. So no needs to the line shop. Gavin Williams, one of the better pitching prospects that the Guardians had left in their system. We trust the Guardians when it comes to pitching. He had 1 bad outing to start his career. I'm not particularly worried about that. So I think he can even blank the Royals here, and I'd like to see the Guardians score 5 runs off of Brady Singer. Easier said than done. So I took first 5 under 5.
I love hearing that. And I guess, Codrino saying Kaufman's No Pitchers Park rated the 5th most hitter-friendly park in the league. It depends on how you look at that, Codrino. So, yeah, hits, singles, and doubles, but not homers. It's always been a tough park to hit homers, and the homers, and I could pull out a few articles if you want me to send to you. It's a tough park to hit homers in. Take it away here, Pistol Pete Loshak, Guardians, Royals.
Okay, well, you guys broke the hell down out of this game down, whatever. Yeah, it's I am a believer in Williams eventually. Not guaranteed, but I'm a believer in him. And Singer, I guess, I'm not as high as you are on Singer. Of course, it helps when he's going up against weaker offenses, which, I would not a huge believer in Cleveland, although there's certainly other offenses that scare me a lot more. Yeah, it's again. This is June. June's just a bad one for me. I'll take Cleveland first 3 minus 135 current line at Will Hill. We'll do it once again. Current Cleveland first 3 minus 135 current line at Will Hill. We're gonna need Singer to get hit if Williams gets hit, or we're gonna need Williams to be lights out if Singer's lights out. And if that doesn't happen, well, chalk up another loss. But I think it's a decent bet where we are right now. I don't mind fading the KC lineup in any way, shape, or form. Educated guesses here on Williams and a little bit on Singer as well.
Codrino, are you on Twitter? Because I can send them to you here. Sharpie says, I did not back Gavin his first game. The A's have been playing better in the time he's seen them. This is a team not hitting in the second start. I expect a quality start. And then batter versus pitcher versus Singer. Look, I know that Singer has horrific numbers this year, 6.34 ERA, 1.57 whip. And I also don't think of the Angels, TJ, as being a weak lineup. That's who he shut down in his last home start. And I had the first 5 under in that spot. I actually lost money on it because I had the first 3 and first 5 Angels at big prices, and that didn't work out. But the Rockies, were smashing righties at the time when he shut them down. So, obviously it makes me very nervous that TJ is so confident on the other side. But look, that's all we can do is find the angles that we want to bet, and I like the implied probability here that Singer can pitch well at home. I love opportunities when I believe a pitcher is much better than his numbers indicate, and obviously I have a bias from the money that I made on him last year. So that's that.
By the way, a quick ribeye play of the day, and Mike knows how to get me to tail him, so I'll be on it as well. I'll add that onto my tweet. Andres Jimenez, RBI at plus 170, Venezuelan guy. Of course, I got to tell Mike Gam. So shout out to you, Mike Gam. I'll be on that as well with you. And by the way, shout out to TJ as well. I'm on Milwaukee first 5 plus a half as well. Shout out to TJ there for the gift. I'm rolling with him. I trust my guy TJ. So shout out to you, my man.
Jimenez with the ribeye play of the day here. Again, for those of you that missed our discussion on the ribeye play of the day off the top, but my goodness, has this been a boon for us. 9 and 5 plus 10.5 units. And then Jose, what did you get on the first 5 under 5?
Minus 105.
Minus 105. Did you tweet? Have you tweeted that out?
Yeah.
Okay. Too bad. Okay. All right. Here we go. And Clint looking for a home run prop. Joe Yerkovich says Singer's last 8 starts showing average results, not horrible. Piker says fade Williams. I'd be on the over if the under didn't look sharp from a market perspective. Market must be telling us Singer pitches well. Well, look, this is the fun of what we do. Pistol is on the Guardians. Guardians first 3 minus 135. Jose and I are both on the first 5 under. I'm also on the first 3 under 2.5 at plus 115. And Jose, who is your guest? Oh, it's Tuesday. Is it Bobano Day for you?
Yes, it's Bobano joining us today. It'll be a whole lot of fun. Clint, I was looking for someone. I don't have anyone off the top of my head, admittedly. Well, there you go. There's Rocco Rogers giving you Austin Hayes. So there you go, Clint. But yes, Bobano joins us today. It'll be a whole lot of fun, getting us out of a mini slump here, but we'll be backfiring, of course, as well, and it'll be a whole lot of fun. So yeah, I'll be back here again at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. And Pete, it's always nice to see you as well, Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Rather quiet today, Pete. I'm worried about you, Pete. You heard him last night, Jimmy. No Nani, no butthole. He's focused. He's focused, ready to go. So
no salt, no pork. A pig is a dirty animal. No smoking, no substances, no punani.
I respect that.
Trying to focus, trying to get centered.
Home run props from Tone Miggins as well. J.D. Davis home run at plus 540 and Jock Peterson home run at plus 420 against Gaussman. So there we go. Jose, thank you for giving me confidence when TJ has stripped me of it.
That's what I'm here for. That's what a father does for a son.
I don't know about that. Let's roll on We roll on, and thank you, Mike, for sharing the Anders Jimenez RBI ribeye of the day. And great job by Sharpie naming that thing. Let's move on. 8:40 p.m. Eastern. This one is fascinating. The offensive expectation today is a monstrous here in Coors Field. Monstrous. Start with the weather here in Colorado. 88 Fahrenheit, 16.5 miles per hour left to right, very slightly out, and then it becomes just left to right, but windy. You'd think it would help the movement, but Ballpark Pal is expecting an offensive explosion here today. Plus 29% home runs, plus 18% doubles and triples, plus 19% singles, plus 37% runs here. TJ says Kershaw gets hit in Colorado. Stacks play of the day is the Rockies team total over 4.5. And TJ says this line's out of control. He's on the Rockies +2, but Christopher Comatini says he's expecting Seabold to get rocked. So let's discuss the spot here. We'll start with the line history on this one. This one opened up at 12 and has dropped to 11.5. This opened up at 12 last night, 7:19, got to 11.5 just this morning at 10:11 a.m. So we have a slight move to the under. Let's go over to the money line here. We have the Rockies opening up at Pinnacle at +251. They're now +244. So we have 7 cents of movement towards the Colorado Rockies. 9 cents cheaper the Dodgers have become over at Pinnacle. So we have a slight move to the Rockies and a slight move to the under. Let's see where the cash is for this one. 85% of the tickets are on the Dodgers, but just 53% of the cash. So looks like there's some sharp action on Colorado. From a totals perspective, it's opened up. It's gone from 12 to 11.5. 56% of the tickets, 77% cash on the under here. And Kershaw is pitching very well. Coming off a great start at the Angels, 7 innings, no earned runs allowed. He had that great start in Cincinnati in a day that was the weather was very, very offensive. And Sharpie says he's on Kershaw today. Says he deals. Says he got hit 2 times last year in Colorado versus some left-handed hitting Rocky teams. Great numbers versus left-handed hitters every time they've seen them. This is not that team, and that's well put. Now, they are actually starting to hit lefties a tiny bit. They've been atrocious against lefties, and they're starting to hit them a little bit. But like Sharpie's saying, nothing like we remember. Throw the vividness bias away from the Rockies hitting lefties. 237 with a 709 OPS. Dodgers is righties 232, 688. Both bullpens have been really bad. Rockies bullpen 5.83 ERA. Since June 1st, while the Dodgers bullpen 5.04. Connor Seabold just got lit up and smoked at Atlanta. 3 innings, 9 earned runs. He's been pretty good at home, though, this year. 4.91 ERA. He's allowed 4 home runs over 29 in the third with a 274 opponent's batting average. We've got the Cheshire Cat in the house. What up, Cheshire? Take it away for us here. Loshak, Dodgers, Rockies.
Yeah, another crazy one. My leans would have been to Colorado and the over. Don't like the move to the under. Not sure about that. And, it's probably throwing money away. But at Heritage, I did take a shot with Colorado -1 + 374. I mean, wow. Probably just threw money away. But that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what to make of this. Lean Colorado. And, of course, the Colorado team total over makes a lot of sense. But Sharpie saying that Kershaw deals makes me nervous. Wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers win it 13-2 and the team total under for Colorado cashes, but the full game over cashes. Still leaning to the over, though. Leaning to Colorado.
Torrey Coker on the Nerfy here, a nice plus price. I am off of this one, but that +2 on the Rockies certainly does make some sense here. Let's just see what that +2 would be for me. And this is a spot that TJ's on, the +2. What the hell's wrong with me here? Sorry. What can I get there? Oh, sorry. Here. Let me get there again. Right here. And are they not? What the fuck? Are they not giving me this? What's wrong with me? So here we go. Pete, do we move on?
Yeah, I guess let's move on. Would love to take over 11.5 at -113, but let's just move on.
Oh, fuck, that's why. Okay, sorry. I just want to quickly see what this +2 +2 would be here for me if I wanted to move on it. The +2, the +1.5 is sitting at +160, and the +2.5 is -110. Wow, still got a plus line on that +2, Pete.
Yeah, no way I would take high volatility here in this game.
And look at Connor Hurdy Kelly is looking at Rockies +3 at -120. Wow.
I hear you.
All right. And Jonathan Cook looking at Kershaw over 6.5 Ks. Okay. I'm going to look at this a little more, but I have some interest in TJ's spot on the Rockies +2. There's our guy AOD in the house. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. We have still 4.
Actually, you know what, Jim? I will take the over in this one. I'll take 11.5 -113. Current line at the pinnacle. If it loses, all right. Okay. Could easily Colorado team total under cash and then the full game overcast as well. Over 11.5 -113.
Sharpie said that he wanted the -1.5, but it was juiced to the fucking gills. All right. Let's move on. Next up for us, 9:38 p.m. Eastern, the Chicago White Sox at the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, Jim. At Will Hill, it's -105. What the fuck?
Really?
Wow. That market line is crashing, but give me that. Over 11.5 -105. Okay.
You got it. Over 11.5 -105. Phillies first 5 now -135 at Bet365, says Rocco. Interesting. Okay, let's move on here. A game that was very good to me last night. I'm on a 13-3 run in MLB and cashed the first 3 under 2.5 and the first 5 under 4.5 last night on our live stream, and it made me very happy, very pleased. Michael Kopech going up against Shohei Ohtani here at Angel Stadium. Let's go right to the weather here. We have 70 Fahrenheit, 9.7 miles per hour out to right center, dies down to 8.5 miles per hour. Let's move over to the line history here for this one. We have over at Pinnacle a move towards the White Sox. The Angels opened up at -198. They're now -178. 20 cents of movement. So we have a move towards Kopech and the Chicago White Sox. And let's see what this total has done here. This total opened up, at 8 at some offshores. It opened up at 8 at Pinnacle as well. Very slightly juiced to the over. And then it got to 8.5 at 10:49 a.m. And that's where it stands right now. It is sitting at 8.5. So we have a move to the over and a move to the White Sox. See if the cash is correlated with that action. First off, 56% of tickets and 60% of cash on that over. And from the money line perspective, 82% of tickets and 95% of the cash on the Angels, and the market clearly moving towards the White Sox. Billy Friedrich says he's on the White Sox first 5, says we'll probably live bet the Angels if the Sox are up after 5. Billy Friedrich says their pen blows nearly every game. Again last night, Cease should have won yet another game. So Kopech has not looked as good as I would have hoped. I backed him against Martin Perez in that last start, and it was bad. He went 4 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. It was 6-3 loss at home. On the road, he's similar numbers to his home, 4.05 ERA, 240 opponent's batting average. And then we have Shohei Ohtani coming off that hard luck 2-0 loss at home versus the Dodgers in that Gratterall Grove combo. And he had 12 strikeouts and 2 walks in that. And at home, he's got a 2.47 ERA, and opponents are earning 163 off of him. He has 69 strikeouts in 51 innings. White Sox versus righties, 219, 687 OPS since June 1st. Angels smashing them, 274, 853 OPS, which goes back to my point that I think, Singer has pitched to good teams at home. In his last start, he shut down the Angels, and Trout and Ohtani were in the lineup. So, but that's beside the point. And both bullpens have been really good of late. Take it away for us here, Pete. White Sox, Angels.
Yeah, my numbers liked White Sox and the under though, leaning under, and so the market move obviously disagrees with that, but agrees with the White Sox. But it was just because the line was too big, and actually right now there's no value based on what I'm seeing here. Although free play, I would still throw it on the White Sox at the current line. I guess I'm going to pass. Ohtani's last start was pretty impressive, and I would expect him to be more likely than not to do it again. So I was leaning under. I don't quite understand the maybe the White Sox team total under. I don't know. Yeah, I was liking the under and don't understand the move to the over.
It's a little surprising as well. Don Play still liking the under. Oh, but says he's going to stay off. Joe Yurkovich says Sox in game 2 of the series after a loss are 12-3. They show they can bounce back, or it does that show they can bounce back, or is it random noise? He says that Joe Yurkovich is going to back them at this price. Mike M says White Sox first 5 plus 185 is one of his favorite spots tonight.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so Mike M not liking Ohtani for another strong start.
Christopher Comentini thinks that the move to the over is weather related.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I am off of this spot. I just. Again, I like the idea. Yeah, if I had a free play, I could take the White Sox here, but I don't have the balls to bet against Shohei, and I don't want them. Rem Most asking if it's a blowing out. We'll review the weather for you.
Yeah, kind of standard Angels Stadium weather, around 70, very small, 8 to 10 wind out, standard weather in that stadium, right? What I'm seeing.
Yes, but Ballpark Pal has plus 9% home runs, minus 9% doubles and triples, minus 1% runs overall. All right. And Billy Frieder saying Kopech has allowed just 17 runs in his last 10 starts. Wow. I know that the trouble started right off that first start of the year, but I didn't realize he'd been that good. Look, I get it, but I'm got action here. I'm all over this board, so I'm going to move on. Pete, do you want to add anything, or do we move on to Yankees, A's? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yankees, A's. Yankees 43-35, 18-16 on the road at Oakland A's, 20-60, 9-29 at home at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Get into the weather here in Oakland. Sorry, get over here. 61 Fahrenheit, 10.9 miles per hour to right center. It stays between 10.9 and 9.9. See what Ballpark Pal thinks about Oakland Coliseum. Minus 14% home runs, minus 8% runs. Let's see what the line history is then for the A's up against the Yankees. We'll start with this total. Total opened up at 8.5, juiced to the under. It lasts there for 2 minutes, Pete. Mm-hmm. 2 solitary minutes before it moved to 8, which is where it is right now. And it's juiced to the under, minus 113 to the under. Let's take a look at the money line here. We have the, it just feels like the market's all over these Blackburn starts. I mean, you want to back the A's, and I do with Blackburn at home. And obviously it's a bias from how incredibly it was in the first 5 over the first half of the season last year, but you're just not getting the prices. This opened up at plus 126. It's now at plus 120. Got down to plus 118, but we have 6 cents of movement. So we have a move to the under and a slight move to the A's. Go over to the cash flow and see if that all correlates. 41% of the tickets, 41% of the cash. Market's moving towards the A's. Looks like they're kind of opening up their arms to Yankees cash. 73% of tickets and 84% cash on the over. We've seen a move to the under. Johnny Brito on the bump, coming off a really nice start at home versus the Mariners. 5 2/3 to it. That was against Castillo, I believe. That was the Castillo start where the line was moving towards the Yankees and kind of letting us know that, I think it was Castillo, but whoever it was, the market was moving briskly towards the Yankees, and he looked very good. Let's see what Leroy Flood says. What do we think about the Nerfy here? And Jay's final take took the alt line under 6.5 at plus 190. Billy says the A's first 5 money lines minus 103 for him. Of course, there's going to be a big difference. Of course, I should have touched on that. Let's just touch on that quickly before we hand it over to Pete, so I can listen and then decide if I want to move here. First 5 around the board here for the Oakland A's is a minus bet. Wow. Unbelievable. If we want to take a look at what BetChris has done, BetChris opened this up at minus 105. Within 20 minutes, it was plus 105. And then 50 minutes after that, it was right back to where it started at minus 105. Blackburn at home is only throwing 9 2/3 innings there. So he's throwing 25 2/3 on the year. Got a late start due to injury. He has not allowed a home run Oh, excuse me. He's allowed 1 home run. I was looking at his last start. He's allowed 1 home run. He's allowed 3 earned runs over 9 2/3 with 15 strikeouts and 3 walks. Last start, 5 innings, 4 earned runs in a 7-6 loss at the Guardians. The Yankees are not hitting righties at all. It's abysmal. 193, 615. The A's are hitting righties harder since June 1st. 242, 688 OPS. But the Yankees bullpen has been quite good. And A's bullpen's been a little better than what we've seen. Robert Franklin looking at A's first 5. What's Pete going to do here? Yankees, A's.
Yeah, I mean, my leans are definitely Oakland and the under at 8.5 or 8 juice to the over. And Oakland at anything better than plus 120 has some value according to my numbers. I might bet it, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on it as an official play. Small value if there is any, but that's what I'm liking. Oakland and under.
I just don't feel like the risk reward is enough for the A's first 5. I mean, the full game, at least you're getting a plus line, but I'm going to have to give Vig out here to back the worst team in the league. That just does not sound appealing to me. The A's first 5 at Bet365 are minus 105. And look at that. Pimp slap play of the day is
holy shit.
It is your New York Yankees. All right. Well, that's fine. Let's keep off of this spot here. Pete, I'm going to send our guy Teece his note that we have a 15-minute warning. 15-minute warning. Jose, can you send Teece the link, please? 15-minute warning for Teece. All right, are you off this spot? Do we move on to the next game?
Pass.
All right. Let's roll. Jay's final take. Nutflush says playing in Oakland has to be depressing. Think about Pump the Yankees will be in front of this crowd. Jay's final take says sometimes when lines are moving, or I think it's moving towards the under or over, I'll always go alternative line. And then Alfred is on the Yankees. All right, let's move on. 2 games left before we get to WNBA with Teece. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Rays 54-27, 20-17 on the road at the Arizona Diamondbacks. 47-32, 23-18 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Roof will be closed. Here we have Zach Gallen being absolutely spectacular at home, unbelievable at home. 54 innings. He's a 1 ERA. I mean, the guy's he's 67 strikeouts and 7 walks. He's 7-0. But the Rays do hit righties. 272, 779 OPS. Diamondbacks 275, 810 OPS versus righties. And Rocco says Diamondbacks first 5 minus 125, one of my top plays today. I thought that it was interesting that Gallen at home was not the spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford. It has been in many of his home starts. So that was the first thought there was, wow. But look at that. Joe Yurkovich, A's first 3 team total over 1 at minus 104. That's a sharp way of doing things here. Alfred says Rays is underdogs on the road. He heard they were 7-20. Let me know if that is a confirmation. LJ from H-Town says let's run it back. Arizona moneyline Trill OG play today. Says Diamondbacks are 22-0 since 2019 is favored of less than minus 150 in the first game of a series. So LJ from H-Town on the Diamondbacks. All right, let's pull up the line history here for this Diamondbacks spot. I've got the first 5 up right now. I'd be curious to see what that is. First 5 over at Bet Chris is sitting at minus 130 for the Diamondbacks, and that's what it opened at. It did go to minus 135 for a very short period of time. For the full game here on the Diamondbacks and Gallen, we have no movement towards I take that back. There's been 7 cents of movement. I didn't realize it opened at minus 119. So 7 cents of movement, minus 119 to minus 126. Take a look at the total for this one. We have it opening up at 8.5 at some offshores. It opened up at 8.5 at Pinnacle, minus 113 to the under, and it moved to 8 at 10:49 a.m. about 10 hours and 43 minutes after. 10:39 a.m. It moved to 8.5. Sorry, 8. God, what's wrong with me? 10:49 it moved to 8, and that was 10 hours and 43 minutes after the line opened. So cash wise here, we have 70% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the under. It's a lot of money on that under. And from a money line perspective, 60% of tickets, 80% cash on the Diamondbacks. Interesting that this Diamondbacks line isn't moving towards him. And it must be because of Taj Bradley, who has been pitching very, very well. Bradley, look at the top prospects in the AL East, the pitchers. You have Taj Bradley for the Rays. He didn't look great off the beginning of the year, and he's now looking excellent. And you can say the same thing about Brian Bayo, looking excellent right now. Taj Bradley, 3.86 ERA, 1.20 whip, 71 strikeouts in 49 innings. I mean, that's very impressive. And only 5 home runs allowed in 49 innings. He's rolling right now. That last start, 6 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. 8 strikeouts, no walks, and a win at home over the Orioles. And on the road, he's been better than he's been in Tampa. On the road, 25 in the third innings, 2.13 ERA, 204 points batted. He's allowed 1 home run. Gallen being excellent at home. Bradley being excellent on the road. Both teams are hitting righties hard. And the Rays bullpen's very good, while the Diamondbacks bullpen is not so much. Take it away, Pete. Second to last game on the card. LJ running it back with Arizona. Money line for the Trilogy play of the day. Are you moving on this one?
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, obviously, I've been betting on Arizona successfully this year, and Tampa Bay is a juggernaut. But I was not quite understanding. I'm seeing first 3 under 2.5 minus 135. Obviously, Bradley has live stuff. His Stark home road splits are probably just mostly noise, if not all noise. But he's a quality guy. Gallen being awesome at home is probably gonna come back somewhat down to earth. And facing the Tampa Bay lineup is going to be able to prepare for him well. I just don't understand why the first 3 is not a 1.5 here.
Yeah, I don't understand why this first 5 under 4.5 is only moved 4.
All right, you can put it on there. First 3 under 2.5 minus 135. If it loses, all right, another loss in June for me. Whatever. Tampa Bay, Arizona. First 3 under 2.5 minus 135. Current line at Will Hill.
Yeah, I don't know why this is a 4.5 either. I mean, you'd think that. I mean, it had to jump out at everybody. Just looking at the elite work from these pitchers in this situation, Gallen at home, Bradley on the road, and 95% of cash is on the under. So why is the market not moving more? That's going to be enough of a red flag for me, and it was already. I knew this was maybe not the slam dunk that the numbers indicate that it is. Don Placey's the under 4.5 at minus 132. Wow, that's much, much worse. Wow. If that's it, let's see what it is over here. Well, it's 4.5 minus 150. Certainly don't bet that because it's minus 115 at bet 365. I mean, that's a real offline there. A real offline. What book is that anyways, Don Play? I'd be very interested in. Okay, Loshak's on the first 3 under 2.5. Coach Arena moving on. Corbin Carroll hits, runs, RBIs over 1.5. So it's pretty cheap at minus 132. Full game over for Torrey Coker. Topset says this game is priced right. He'd lean first 5 under. Billy Friedrich says Bradley hasn't thrown more than 90 pitches in any start. That's what's keeping me off his K-prop over 5.5. Oh, it's at your local casino. Wow, Don Play. That's a ridiculous line. I wouldn't bet it. You can't bet a line that's 20 cents worse than even the worst books.
You know what? You can add on Arizona first 5 for me, minus 130. It might be a sucker play, but we'll take it. Arizona first 5, minus 130. Current line at Heritage. Pinnacle has minus 133. We'll take the Heritage line at minus 130.
Let's talk about the final spot on the board before we welcome back Teece, our friend Teece, making his season debut in WNBA here on Loshak in the Bag. Washington Nationals at Seattle Mariners. Nationals 30-48, 17-21 on the road. Seattle Mariners 38-39, 22-17 at home at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. Ooh, do I miss the Pacific Northwest? I miss Seattle so much, and I have a cousin getting married in Seattle next August, so at least I get to go back to Seattle. It is 70 Fahrenheit, 6.7 miles per hour out.
Hey, Jim, sorry. Can you give me 128 on that? But Billy Friedrich found 128, first 5, Arizona first 5. Thank you, Billy Friedrich.
Minus 128 for Pete. Thank you, Billy. Isn't Billy great? What a great guy he is.
Oh, God.
I've got to hang out with him on screen, too. He's a lot of fun. Great guy, smart guy, funny guy. All right. Don Play says, in Woo we trust. Woo. Let's go. T-Mobile. I talked about the nice warm weather in the Pacific Northwest. Let's see what Ballpark Pal says about T-Mobile. Plus 5% homers, minus 14% doubles and triples, minus 4% singles, and minus 7% runs today. And look, I'm a big fan of Woo. Big fan of Woo. There's Billy Brisbane with a woo. Irvin, Souls of Mischief was just here, and I didn't see them. I haven't gone out to a concert in a long, long time, but I would have gone and seen fucking Rehash 93 till infinity shit, man. Jake Irvin going up against Brian Woo. I couldn't believe I missed it. It was like 2 weeks ago they were here. I had no idea. Jake Irvin going up against Brian Woo, and I'm a big Woo backer. And this guy, like Williams, just throws fire and just gets strikeouts left and right. Let's see what the line history is on this one. We have Seattle move towards them, but how much of a move? Big one, 24 cents of movement. Opening up at minus 202, now minus 226. 24 cents of movement. Let's go over to the total here in this one. The first 5, by the way, opened up at 4.5 at a pick'em, and it did not. Jesus, I didn't know that. God, I thought this was. I was looking at this last night. I didn't realize how much movement there'd been. The over 4.5 was at minus 117. It's now minus 108. So we have had 9 cents of movement towards the under, but that's the first 5 under. Let's see what the full game here is for this one. We have
Washington, Seattle 4.5. I'm seeing minus 106 at Pinnacle.
Okay, yeah, I've seen minus 108, but I guess mine just hadn't refreshed. Oh, you're not seeing. Sorry, you seen the opener at minus 10? Oh
no, sorry, the opener. I'm saying the current line. I thought you said that it's moved.
Yeah, it opened up minus 117. I have minus 108, but minus 106 would make it even a bigger move than 8 cents towards the under. It was minus 117 to the over when it opened.
Oh, okay, to the over. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay, to the over at 108. Right. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so then on the full game, it opened up at 8, minus 111 to the over. Now it's minus 114 to the over. So we have a move to the first 5 under and a slight move to the over. Let's go over to the cash flow here on this one. Where the hell is it? Jeez. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Here's for cash flow. 29% of the tickets, 96% of cash on the under. Well, why is it moving? Why is it not moving? Is the question. If there's that much money on the under, it's not moving. And then we have 76% of tickets on the Mariners and just 23% of cash. But the market clearly moving in the Mariners' direction. But TJ shows no fear. Washington first 5 plus 180. Mark Stasiowski looking at the first 3 under 2.5. And TJ says Woo versus lefties is very concerning. Washington could have 6 in the lineup. Be careful. Be careful. So Jake Irvin going up against Woo. Jake Irvin coming off his numbers are bad. Look, I get it. 4.71 ERA, 1.52 whip. But that was a really impressive start last out at home versus the Diamondbacks. We know what the Diamondbacks can do offensively. He held them to 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk over 6 innings. And on the road, he's been good. Now, he's only thrown 11 1/3 innings on the road, but only allowed 4 earned runs over that 11 1/3, 8 Ks, 4 walks, just 1 jack. And then we have Woo off that very impressive performance at the Yankees, 5 1/3, no earned runs allowed. Mariners are not hitting righties, and the Nats are hitting them, but just not with any power. 261 average, 701 OPS. Nats bullpen being abysmal, 5.78 ERA. Mariners bullpen 4.30 ERA, and of course those numbers are from June 1st. Take it away, Pete. Nats, Mariners, their move for you.
Yeah, I was thinking, Irvin been improving, not a huge shock there. So I was thinking, first 5 under. People making good comments about that Woo might be a little bit more vulnerable here against if there's a bunch of lefties in the lineup. At the lines, I was leaning under and Washington, but haven't bet it, and I guess I probably won't.
And look at that, Mike M on Woo under 4.5 Ks at plus 140.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very important in this show with all these spectacular cappers in the chat working as one, working together, is to listen. And that's going to get me off any of the leans that I had on this game. I see sharp cappers on the Nats. I see sharp action on the Nats, but the market moving towards the Mariners. I see some concern with Woo against lefties and concern, we shouldn't take too much of, him smashing, grabbing the Yankees, who are just abysmal this year against righties. So Billy Friedrich liking the full game over 8 a lot. So I'm very comfortably off this spot. Pete, are you moving on this one?
Total pass.
All right, let's review all MLB action here for us. First off, Viper NB is on the Blue Jays -1. Atlanta, Minnesota, first 5 under 5. Justin McElvey, the stacks play of the day is the Rockies, team total over 4.5. Billy Friedrich is on the Phillies, first 5 -0.5 at +112. He's on the Brewers, first 5 money line +137. He's on the Astros, first 5 money line -110. Marco Liu is on the Nationals, Mariners under. He's on the Brewers. He's on the Brewers, Mets under 9, and Padres, Pirates under 9. Vitalis is on the Royals, Guardians under 9, which makes me feel good. And Jay's final take, let your nuts hang play of the day is Boston -114. Tone Miggins levels parlay of the day is the Giants +1.5, the Guardians money line, and the Dodgers money line. Again, Giants +1.5, Guardians money line, Dodgers money line. That's at +286. It's got 1.5 units on it. He's also got Elite Cruz 2+ bases at +125. Loshak's on the Reds first 5 at +127. I'm going to be adding the Padres -1.5 to my action. I do want to see exactly how expensive the -1 will be, but I do think the volatility exists in this one. So I'm probably going to just take that run line. Tone Miggins gave us home run props in Giants, Blue Jays. J.D. Davis home run at +540. Jock Peterson home run at +420. Spreadsheet play of the day is the Toronto Blue Jays -1 at -116. Carlos Garcia, the bet your wife play of the day is Boston on the run line. Let your nuts hang, as I said, play today's Boston money line. I'm on Boston first 5 at -115 and Miami Boston first 5 over 5 at -105. I made those bets last night. Those were the first bets I made on this card right after our live show. Jose's also on the Red Sox first 5. He's also on them for a full game as well. And Loshak's on the Red Sox -1 at +115. He's on the Yurfee, and he's also on the first 5 over 5 with us. Then Brewers Mets. I'm on the first 5 over 5 at -120. And TJ's gift is the Brewers first 5 +0.5. I'm very interested in that. I believe I will tail the gift. Again, the gift hitting at 21-8 here on the show. Loshak's on the Brewers first 5 team total over 2.5. I wrote +130 down. It wasn't +130, was it?
For what?
Your Brewers first 5 team total over 2.5.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay, big plus money spot there. I am going to be on the Braves -1. That will be an addition for me. I'm also going to be on the first 5 under 4 in Houston, St. Louis. Loshak's on the under 8 full game, and the Astros first 5. Detroit, Texas, we stayed off. I wanted the Phillies, but stayed off. I'm going to keep an eye on the market in that one. Mike M's ribeye of the day. Again, that's 9 and 5. That is 9 and 5, up 10.5 units. The ribeye of the day. I wish we had the average line for it too. It's just a spectacular average line. And that is Andres Jimenez, RBI at +170. First 5 under 5 for Jose. Loshak's on the Guardians first 3 -135. And these were the last bets I made before I came to the show. I'm on the first 3 under 2.5 at +115 and the first 5 under 5 at +100. And that's the spot where TJ's on the over and thinks that my close personal friend Brady Singer is going to take it in ye old bottom mouth. And I say he says no. I say he does not allow anybody to enter his bottom mouth. Loshak's on the over 11.5 at -105 in Dodgers Rockies. TJ's on Rockies +2, and I am interested in that spot. The Rockies +2. I'm very interested in that spot. But I'm a little nervous backing Seabold, especially after what Sharpie said about Kershaw. White Sox, Angels, I stayed off, as I did with Yankees, A's. Loshak's on the, and so did Pete. But Pete's on the first 3 under 2.5, and the Diamondbacks first 5 in Diamondbacks Rays. And I've left a ton of money on the table with Zach Allen. I know that. But LJ from H-Town, Trill, OG, play of the day is the Diamondbacks here. That's LJ from H-Town, Trill, OG, play of the day. I did see Drizzy went to Trill Burgers there in H-Town. I can't wait to go myself. Nationals, Mariners, we stayed off. And that, my friends, is our card here. So how you feel about all that, Pete? You ready for WNBA?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
I feel a little nervous, but I feel all right. I feel all right.
Let's do it. Our producer, Jose, had to run, and we have 2 of the graphics. We're missing 1 graphic, but that is okay. We can work with that. Without further ado, let's bring on our next guest. And this man is destroying WNBA, and he's making his season debut here for us on Loshak and the Bag. We got Philly in the house. Please welcome Parlay Teece. Hello, everybody. Parlay. Oh, and then I got to figure out how to do this. This is something he did not teach me. How to do the 3 people in a box. God damn.
Yeah, you have to go into banners and go all the way down, Jimmy, to right before it has where the music is. There's going to be something highlighted that'll take that betting with the bag off.
Oh yeah, no, I can do that. I can get that off here. Oh, that's not it. I can get that off. I just wanted the 3 people in a box spot, but that's fine.
There you go.
We won't have the 3 people in a box thing, but let's get to work. It is great to see you, Teece. Thank you for making your season debut here. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Happy to be back. My man Loshak and Jimmy the Bag, man. Love the glasses, Pete. Love them.
Yes, thanks. Teece, we've had a rough June, which we were expecting in baseball, but even when you're expecting it, it's always not nice to have. So we're focused, Teece. I've given up salt, sugar, pork. Pig is a dirty animal. Punani, booze, MDMA, everything, just to try to focus and use beginner's mind to see these MLB lines, well and accurately, and try to have a nice winning final show of the June month in this.
I hear you.
Look at our guy
Billy WNBA, brother. I'll tell you that right now.
I love it. Look at our guy Billy Brisbane jumping in the back and getting us with the 3 on the line. Look at Brizzy. God, what a guy Brizzy is. Thank you. Thank you so much, Brizzy. And that is okay, perfect. He's got us set up. That is our final game. Our first game here is New York Liberty versus Connecticut Sun. And thank you again to our guy Brizzy. What a quality dude he is. New York Liberty 9-3, 4-1 on the road at the Connecticut Sun, 12-3, 5-2 at home at Mohegan Sun Arena. Spot that Brizzy knows very well. Let's go into the line history here for this one. Our first game on the board. Let's get over to WNBA and see what we're talking about. What book do you think is best for a line history? Because should we be using Bet Online because they get out first before everything else? Teece, what book do you think is best to study line history?
Personally, I've been using Wager Talks odds board,
and
you're talking about like to see the line history.
I'm just talking which book though.
Book?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bet Online's been first, but I don't have a Bet Online account, so I've been kind of relegated to having to wait this year, and it's terrible because last year FanDuel would release first halves and full games, the night before, and this year everything's been being released late. So I don't really have a preference in a book. I guess the book I use the most is probably Caesars. I think they're one of the sharpest as far as WNBA goes.
Well, we had, depending on where you look, like if you're sitting here looking at Pinnacle, very nervous book. Opened this up at 8:54 this morning at -5. It immediately went to -4.5. But Bet Online opened this way off. Bet Online opened this way off and had to adjust it immediately. Bet Online opened this up at -2.
Oh my!
It lasted there for 11 minutes before they moved it 4 points. So that's with limits, obviously.
Gotcha.
-2 with limits, and then they moved it to -6. Then this got all the way down to -4. This was -4 yesterday. So this came out at noon yesterday at -2, lasted there for 11 minutes. Now we're sitting at -5. So why don't we stay with Bet Online here and look at this total here for New York, Connecticut. This opened up at 164.5. And it started moving down. It moved to 164. And then listen to this, down to 161.5.
Oh my gosh.
That's when it started climbing. So it went from 161.5, and then 10 minutes later, 162.5. 10 minutes later after that, 164. 11 minutes after that, 166. It got up to 167 and it's dropped to 166.5. So a lot of market movement. Can't wait to hear your analysis. Pete, though, we usually go to you right after, and then we have the expert close shop. So what are your thoughts here in Liberty, Connecticut?
I mean, I am looking at WNBA this year. Obviously, there's a huge injury for Connecticut, which is why they're a big dog here. And I was thinking about under.
Thinking of an under here. Well, Teece, the floor is yours. Your first spot of the year for us. New York Liberty, Connecticut Sun.
This is going to be a great game. Jaquel Jones is coming back from coming back for the first time to Connecticut after going to New York. I expect her to. I see Brizzy down there over 7.5 rebounds. I think that's a great look. She had a terrible game last game against the Washington Mystics. I think she might have been looking forward to this spot. So I would expect big things out of her. As far as the total goes, I'm on the first half over, and I got that at 84.5 at Caesars. I think that's a great look. Both these teams play fast. As far as the full game goes, I'm not on it, but I would definitely be looking to the under just because of the fact that I think this game will tighten up in the second half. And as far as Bet Online goes, opening this game up, I think that they were on point at -2 with the Sun. I think the Sun cover this spread. You got to look ahead spot for the Liberty. They're next up against the Aces, and they're heading out to Vegas, and they're caught in a sandwich spot here with the tough game against the Mystics on Sunday, where the Mystics were winning the whole game, and then the Liberty somehow come back, tie it up, and then win it by a point in overtime. That was a great game, and I think this is a Sun spot. I think the Sun, definitely the talent and the superstars and so forth are on the Liberty, but in this spot, I have to go with the Sun. I think the Sun get it done. Brianna Jones being out for the year, that's a big loss for the Sun. But Alyssa Thomas is she's just been a beast, man. She's a conference player of the week. She's getting triple doubles left and right. Her assists have just been money in the bank. So that's something to look for there. But yeah, I can't look any other way but the Sun full game +5.
Well, let's lock that in for you. By the way, that first half over 84.5, widely available. You can get it right now if anybody out there wants it. And let's get you the Connecticut Sun here +5. Let me see if I can do any better than +5. I can't, but I can get you that +5 -107. Pistol Pete, what are your thoughts when you hear what Teece is doing, as well as Billy Brisbane in the chat?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me. I'm looking around to find a Jones rebound prop at a book. It's a little bit hard to find some WNBA props sometimes, but player props, that is. But yeah, makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm going to be off this game personally. I mean, very likely Connecticut is the right side, though. I might be on it, but yeah.
Teece, first half over 84.5, and the Sun +5 at -107. And then we have the Jaquel Jones over 7.5 boards for Brizzy, a spot that Teece said that he understood and liked as well. We do not have a graphic for this game, so I'll just take this graphic away. But next up for us is the Seattle Storm, 4-9, 2-2 on the road at the Minnesota Lynx, 4-9, 1-5 at home. We're at Target Center in Minneapolis here for this one. The last spot for the Storm was a big 97-74 win at home against Phoenix. It was their third home game on a 3-game homestand. They lost to Connecticut by 6, lost to Indiana by 12, and then beat up on Phoenix. That was on the 24th. So this is last played on Saturday. Then they're playing the Minnesota Lynx, who we haven't seen in action since Thursday was their last game against at home against Connecticut, and they lost by 21. That was their first game back after a 3-game road trip. They've won 3 of their last 5, but all 3 of those wins came against the Sparks. So here they are at home against the Storm. Let's take a look at the line history here. First off, there's been a big move towards Minnesota. This opened up at -1 here, and changed dramatically. Look at this. So it opens up yesterday at 12:29 p.m. at -1 with limits, and then I guess BetOnline trying to figure out where they should be on this line because they're going to put out the lines first. Then it moves to -5. We have a 4-point move towards the Lynx. That was too much because 11 minutes after that they moved it to -4, and that's where it stayed. It stayed at -4 for 6 hours. Moved to 3.5. Then at midnight, it's back at 1.5. Once it got there at 1.5, a slow move towards Minnesota. Got to 2 at 9 in the morning. Got to 2.5 at 10 in the morning. Got to 3.5 2 hours ago. So Minnesota is -3.5 here right now. And from a total perspective, we have this opening up at 165.5. And the first move was to the over. This got up to 168, then 167, 165.5, and it just kept dropping all the way to 160.5. 8-point swing from the height. Now at 160.5. Wild market moves in the WNBA. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete. You have any interest in Seattle Storm, Minnesota Lynx?
Yeah, I'm assuming that those moves are because someone's out for Seattle. I'm not exactly sure who, but leaning under, that's about it. Seattle's been good ATS this year, though.
Teece, take it away. Storm, Lynx.
Well, out for Seattle is Horston, but she's been out the last couple games. So I don't think that should affect them too much, being that they played 2 games without her. But, yeah, this game right here, it's I mean, Lynx is the only spot to bet. I took the Lynx at -1. I mean, it's the only way you can look in this game. But my better play on this game is the first half over 80 or 80.5, whatever it's at. Yeah, I think that both these teams are the Seattle's a definitely fast starter. They're the problem with Seattle is they like to have in the third and fourth quarter, they like to have like 6-point quarters. So I don't want anything to do with that total for the full game. If I do, the only way I'm going to look is under. And I haven't bet this game. The only thing I bet on it was the first half total and the Lynx plus -1, my bad. And the first half over 80.5. So that's the looks that I have for this game. It's really not. I don't think this is going to be a fun game to watch, to be honest with you, unless of course you want to watch Jewel Lloyd. The Gold Mamba just is a show in herself. She's just entertaining the way she just balls. She's such a baller, man. There's nobody better in the WNBA right now than her. So I mean, that's the only thing that I would watch this game, just to watch her play. But other than that, as they would say on the NBA Pub Hub, backwoods this shit.
So at this point, with it at -3, do you want to make Minnesota an official pick here for? And it's very difficult. I know when we have cappers on the show because they bet we give them spots that are available right now as we speak, which the 80.5 is available right now. First half over 80.5 at -105. Do you want the -3, or is that a backward spot?
No, I don't want that. I don't want the -3. The only thing I'm going to go with for show purposes is the first half over.
Ron Crawford on Lynx Moneyline says Lynx for me. Tori Coker says Storm first half over is his best bet on the card. So, Tori Coker, great WNBA capper. So nice company. By the way, would you prefer? Thank you, Billy. Would you prefer bookmakers first half over 80 at -117?
Sure, of course I would.
Okay. Do that. We'll get you over 80 at -117, and thank you for that, Billy. If that's the case, I should probably see, because the best line was hanging over at Pinnacle. So let me just see if I can beat that first half over 80 here. Let me move over to WNBA and see if it's available. Yes, it is WNBA, and we'll go to first half. And the over 80.5 is -105. So then what's the over 80? Sorry, let me just grab this quickly. The over 80 -117. Exactly what it is a bookmaker. Okay, sorry to waste everybody's time there. Let's move on to the final spot on the board here. We have Parlay Teece making his season debut here on the show. Dallas Wings 6-8, 1-6 on the road at the Phoenix Mercury, 2-10, 1-4 at home at Footprint Center in Phoenix. Arizona, and the Mercury just continue to lose basketball games, and they're losing them by big scores. The last time they got within single digits was their last win at Indiana. Since then, 5 straight losses, all by double digits. The closest they came was within 14 points at home versus Seattle. But their last game was at Seattle, 97-74 loss, and they are not looking good. Let's take a look at what we're talking from a line history standpoint in this one. We have a huge move here. Let's go to Bet Online. Wow, they moved this heavy. This opened up with Phoenix at +7. Lasted there for 40 minutes before it moved to +5, then to +4, and then 3. We're at 3.5 right now. So +3.5 for Phoenix as a home dog. And from a total perspective, we have this. Come on, let's refresh here. Here we go. We have this another. The very small move here on the total. This opened up. I guess there was one. It opened up at 169 and immediately went to the over. It got up to 171.5, but we're back to 168. We're down a point drop. It did get as low as 167.5. Pistol Pete Loshak. Oh, let me get this up here. Do you have any interest in Dallas Wings, Phoenix Mercury, Pete?
I don't know. I mean, Dallas has been bad ATS, but Phoenix also, and they played twice earlier this year, and Dallas, won both of those by a bunch of points. So I was thinking maybe this is a spot to time a Dallas cover.
Let's hear what Teece has to say. Our
3.5. No, wait, 7 though. 7, I would have been all over Phoenix.
Let's hear what Teece has to say. Dallas Wings, Phoenix Mercury.
This Phoenix team has just been atrocious. Not just this season, but last season as well. Sandy Bordella, she was the coach 2 seasons ago. She left for New York. They brought in Nygaard, and I just really don't think she messed with the team. I know her and Skylar Diggins-Smith had problems last year, and it spilled into this year. And when you have a problem between one of your main players and a coach, that's just a cancer. And they were not moving Skylar Diggins-Smith, so they fired Nygaard on Sunday. And I think that's why you're seeing the line movement. You're getting the boost towards the Mercury because people are looking like they're going to play for their new coach. But here's the twist with this. One of their scorers, basically between Taurasi in the front and in the backcourt, you have Taurasi and you have Sophie Cunningham because Shea Petty's out and Skylar Diggins-Smith, they need to get her back ready to play because I'm sure she'll be back in the next couple games now that Nygaard's gone. Sophie Cunningham is a game time decision today. So that scares me. It scares me a lot. Otherwise, I might ride that new coach, let's play for the new coach type of thing. So what I did was I went with the Phoenix Mercury in this game, but I only went with them in the first quarter, and I did that on the money line plus 110 at Caesars. And it's the only play that I can play in this game. As far as the total goes, I wouldn't be so quick to jump on that over. You're with the Dallas Wings here on the 3rd game of their road trip. Their 3rd game in 4 days. And I think you're going to get fatigue out of them. And I don't think we get that total over 167.5. I don't think they get there with that. It's not a play that I've made yet. It's a play that I'm mulling over. But as far as the side goes, I think the only thing I can play in this is what I played already, and that's the money line for Phoenix first quarter.
And it's still available right now at plus 110. Some books have it at plus 105, half at 105, half at 110. Mercury first quarter plus 110. Pistol Pete, does that make you want to move as well?
I'm going to hold off this game.
Hold off. All right, let's review Teece's action here. Also, Billy Brisbane gave us Jaquel Jones over 7.5 boards. Teece is on the first half over 84.5 in Liberty Sun, and the Sun +5 at -107. Then he's on the first half over 80 in Seattle Storm, Minnesota Lynx at -117, and he closes up his card with Mercury first quarter at +110. Pete, did you want to make any WNBA official picks at this point?
No. I mean, I'll probably tail a little bit of stuff here and there, but as of right now, no, nothing for me.
Teece, thank you so much for rolling with us. Teece can be found at Hubangin Sports Talk, and please follow him on Twitter. He puts his action out all the time, just to help the fellow gamblers. A professional gambler like Teece, who makes his living gambling, giving out his action, is a real wonderful opportunity for all of us, for the whole community. Here, I just popped it in the chat. That's at Parlay Teece. Please follow him and support what he's doing. Teece, my friend, thank you for making your debut here with Pete and I. Do you have any last words for the Cappers supporting the show? And you can let them know where they can find you over at Hubangin as well.
Okay. Yeah. Now, it's always an honor for me to be, share a screen with you, Pete, and with you, Jimmy. I appreciate the offer to come on in here. Anytime you need somebody, if Brizzy's not feeling up to it, I'll jump in. But yeah, you can find me. I put out all my plays on my show weekdays, 3:45 p.m. We got next on Hubangin Sports, and then I kind of select a couple that I'll put up on Twitter. But I give all my plays out on the show, so check it out. We have a good time. I'm not a big trend stat guy. I like to just bullshit and have fun. So come on and check it out, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jimmy, and thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Teece. Because someone said that I look like De Niro at the end of Casino, and I just did a search for that, and I do kind of look at it.
No, I didn't even think about that. That's great.
At the end of that fucking movie, right? There you go, Teece. I can't hit you up with any WNBA insights, but I could make you laugh for a couple of seconds. Very nice. Very nice. Look forward to next Tuesday, Teece.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
A lot of fun. Thank you, Teece, for rolling with us. There you go. Our show is complete. Pistol Pete Loshak. I could review the MLB one more time for you guys. Why don't I just do a very, very, very quick review again? I give it all of this. I copy and paste everybody's action throughout the show so that I can, follow everyone, see who's hot, see who's running nice. But here for Pete and I, he's on the Reds first 5 at plus 127. I'm adding the Padres minus 1.5. Spreadsheet play today is Toronto -1 at minus 116. I'm on the Red Sox first 5 minus 115 and Miami Boston over 5 at minus 105. Jose's on Red Sox first 5 full game, and Loshak's on Red Sox -1. He's on the Yurfie, and he's on the first 5 over 5. Then I'm on the first 5 over 5 minus 120 Milwaukee, New York. I think I'm going to tail the gift from TJ. That's Milwaukee first 5 plus a half. Loshak's on the Brewers first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 130. I am adding the Braves -1 to my card. I'm also adding the first 5 under 4 in Houston, St. Louis. Loshak's on the under 8 in Houston, St. Louis, and Astros first 5 at minus 110. We stayed off of Detroit, Texas. Stayed off of Philly, Chicago, although I'm going to keep a close eye on that Philly spot. The ribeye play of the day from Mike M is Anders Jimenez, RBI at plus 170 in Guardians, Royals. I'm on the first 3 under 2.5 at plus 115 and the first 5 under 5. And TJ thinks Singer's going to get lit up and smoked right in the prison pocket. And that makes me very nervous, makes me extremely nervous. But Loshak is on the Guardians first 3, which also gives me the sense that, is that more you trusting Gavin Williams, or is that you thinking Singer also gets touched?
It's kind of both. I mean, Singer obviously has upside. We've all seen that, but he's a little bit unreliable. And then you got Williams, who I'm a believer in, going up against a lineup that can be held down. You know what I mean? And a line that's not too steep. So you factor all that stuff in there. Maybe Williams gets hit, but then Singer gets hit, or maybe Singer's lights out, but Williams even more lights out, and you add it all up, and you're not paying a big favorite line anyway. So thought there was some value there, Jim.
Billy Friedrich has given us a new word for asshole. That is the Shawshank slot. That's from Billy Friedrich. It's a nice addition. My favorite will always be bottom mouth. It will always be my favorite. Bottom mouth food pussy. You guys know how it works. Loshak over 11.5 minus 105 in Dodgers Rockies. I'm looking very closely at Colorado +2. White Sox Angels, we stayed off, and Yankees A's, we stayed off. The final spot on the board is Pistol Pete's first 3 under 2.5 and Diamondbacks first 5 over in Arizona, Tampa Bay. Mally Mal just got out of a week. Coma Mally Mal. We love you, man. Nice to see you, buddy. Nice to have you back. Pistol Pete, that is our show for today. Jose is not here, so I'm going to set up our closing stuff here. So let me just move over there. And why don't you put a bow on this bad boy, Pistol Pete?
All right, hell yeah. First of all, shout out to AOD, Don Pla, G. Martinez, Tori Coker. Really appreciated what he had to say today. Billy Friedrich, of course, as always, big show picks. Mally Mal, Real Deal Prime. Yeah, I think I'm liking my picks okay today. It's gonna be nice when the calendar changes and things tend to be better after the All-Star break for me for MLB. But always, it's such a pleasure and joy to do this every friggin' Tuesday with you, with the comment section, with all the guests who come on. I mean, it's just, I'm so grateful and thankful for Pub Sports Radio and the entire Pub Sports Radio crew. Jimmy the Bag. I'll see you again next Tuesday.
Can you give us one more De Niro?